Gateman fans, welcome into the South Coast Health pregame show. He's Cameron Ezeir. I'm Cade Crenshaw with you. Just minutes before the Wareham Gateman play host the Cotuit Kettleers here at Spillane Field. A 5 p.m. first pitch here tonight at home. Things are a little bit different, and that goes back to the end result of last night's tie with Chatham. The game ended in a 5-5 tie, but it was just after 6 innings. Lights issues here at Spillane Field. A weird night overall for the Gateman and the tie with the Anglers.
Really, really weird, and it started just from a statistical standpoint. If you look at the box score, the Wareham Gateman, they drew 9 walks, and they were capitalizing off of mistakes, and that's following the Chatham Anglers scoring 4 straight to open up the game as the worst team on the Cape. So you were wondering, what's going on? And then the lights, they dimmed a bit, and that's what went on. It ended the ball game. An oddity here at Spillane Field. The Gatemen were just lucky to come out with the 5-5 tie.
So you move ahead the next day. You move up the game time against a Kettleer team that has been much different across the last 2 weeks than they were to start this season. This is a Cotuit squad that started 9-0 for the Cape League season in 2022. Tons of names and faces we're expecting to see in next week's MLB draft. Well, a lot of those names have already left the Kettleers to prepare for that draft and prepare for the next level. So they've gone through a facelift, if you will, and they've struggled in that same time span. Just 1-6-3 in their last 10 games. Cam, tonight they're going for their first win in 11 days.
Yeah, Brooks Baldwin is gone. Chandler Simpson is gone. Both led the Cape in batting average for probably a week or so. So you wonder, where's the offense for Cotuit? I think they're wondering that as well. It'll be up to Tommy Troy, Tyler Johnson. Those are the 2 names to watch out for. Even a guy like Calvin Harris. If you want to throw 3 names out there, those are the 3, and that's pretty much it. And that's why Cotuit has struggled. And conversely, the pitching staff has been awful. Bottom 3 on the Cape in strikeouts as well as walks, or top 3 if you're talking about the amount that they give up. This is a Cotuit pitching staff that has really struggled over the past week and a half, and it's led to this Cotuit team in the last 5 games giving up 9 runs per game. Now, if Wareham wants a continuation of what they've been doing over the last week and a half on the offensive side, you really have to hope that the Cotuit pitching staff brings that struggling theme here to Spillane.
Well, on the pitching note, tonight for the Gateman will be Jacob Cravey on the bum. We'll talk more about him later on here on the South Coast Health pregame show. First, we'll step aside, and our Claire Foley will join us after the break for more. We'll be back for more Wareham Gateman baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Whether a night at the tap room for pub grub, dinner for the family, or a full-service catered event, Minkle Boys Catering. Food with passion. Book your event today.
Welcome back to the Gateman pregame show presented by South Coast Health. Here with Coach Shapiro. Coach, yesterday was a weird one, but saw the resiliency and patience in the guys working the pitchers later into counts, and that's something we've seen all season. How do you think that's contributed to this team's success in the past few weeks?
Well, I think that's part of it. I think we're going through like our 3rd team. You know, we had the initial group come in, and then those are older guys who were on temp contracts, and then the next group were guys who were in the NCAA tournaments. They came in later, and took a while for them to adjust. And out of that group, we had a couple guys get injured, so they had to go home. We had a couple pitchers injured who were tweaked for a while. One pitcher went home. So we've been playing pretty well, but then there'll be the next wave. So it'll be like 4 seasons in one.
Yeah, exactly. And the next few days we have 3 in-division matchups. What do you think we need to do in order to make a playoff push against these teams?
I just try to win the next game. I don't worry about who it is, because you can win 3 and then lose 3 from somebody outside the division. So just have to you just have to play baseball, you know. And so we've actually been playing pretty good baseball.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. We'll be right back with more pregame coverage sponsored by South Coast Health.
Beat the heat and join us at WaterWiz, a water experience unlike any other this side of the bridge. Open daily, head over to the water park on Route 28, the Cranberry Highway.
Back with you on the South Coast Health pregame show. Cade Crenshaw joined alongside Cameron Ezeir. You just heard from Claire Foley. We'll have the call for you tonight. First pitch set for 5 p.m. where the Wareham Gateman play host the Cotuit Kettleers, and Jacob Cravey, the right-hander out of Sanford, takes the mound for Wareham. And Cam, as of late, Cravey has been dominant. You look at his last outing just a few short days ago against Orleans, 5 innings, just 2 hits allowed.
And he kept his offense in it because the offense was really struggling against the Orleans Firebirds. They only mustered 1 run, but that proved to be enough. The bullpen was great. Jacob Cravey was even better. After his first couple of starts, he was giving up 2 earned runs like it was clockwork. And in his last start against Orleans, 5 strong, only gave up a pair of hits. He's not going to blow you away with this stuff. Only 4 strikeouts to 1 walk, but he's kept the walk numbers down, and it's a guy in Jacob Cravey that relies on his location a lot more than his velocity. And you could tell as the season has progressed that he realizes, okay, I'm a movement guy, and it's worked for the Sanford product.
It'll be interesting to see how he performs against this Kettleer team that, once again, looking for their first win in 11 days tonight. They're just 1-6-3 in their last 10 games. All of that more coming up here in just a few short minutes away from first pitch, where the Wareham Gateman play host the Cotuit Kettleers with a 5 o'clock start time here at Spillane Field. For Cameron Ezeir and Claire Foley, I'm Cade Crenshaw. We'll see you right around the corner.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including 5th-year master's programs at curry.edu.
Mosquito bites and ticks. No, yikes! When the bugs get scary, just call Mosquito Mary's 866 Ask Mary, or visit us at mosquitomarys.com.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls, piled high on a grilled brioche and served hot buttered or just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
The Wareham-based 80 Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is the world's largest cranberry grower and the largest private property owner in eastern Massachusetts. The company supports organizations like the Wareham Gateman and projects like the outdoor cranberry bog classroom that you may have passed on your way in. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
The Gateway Tavern, located on Marion Road in Wareham, offers an extensive but not exhaustive array of menu choices. They search for the finest in foods, ranging from garden fresh produce to hand-selected seafood, and have special menus that change daily. The Gateway Tavern is proud to be the official helmet of the Wareham Gateman.
What a beautiful Wednesday it is for Wareham Gateman baseball once again on the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cade Crenshaw, he's Cameron Ezeir. Claire Foley is down on the field for us tonight as the Gatemen play host to the Cotuit Kettleers, and Jacob Cravey takes the bump for Wareham tonight. The tall right-hander is set to make his 5th start of the summer, and he has been electric so far this year. A 3.52 ERA through 15 innings pitched. He's total 11 strikeouts. But Cam, here as of late, his last start just a week ago against Bourne might have been his best yet.
Easy, not even a question. That game against the Orleans Firebirds here at home, a no decision, but 5 innings of work. Struck out 4, walked 1, but here's the key. Only gave up 2 hits, and for the first time in a start this summer, Jacob Cravey did not give up a run. 6 earned runs combined in his previous 3 starts, and that was pivotal for a player in Jacob Cravey that redeveloped his confidence.
Well, today, defensively for the Gatemen, it's a new makeup in a few different places. First off, let's start on the infield. Max Anderson, he's at third base.
there's no surprise or strangeness there. Blake Wright is at short. Brian Padilla will play second base. And for the first time this season, Hogan Windish is on the infield. He will be at first. And behind the dish is the new catcher from Kentucky, making his Gateman debut in Devin Burks. Your outfielders, Jack Hausinger, his second time this season in left field. Owen Diodati's in center, and Kellum Clark is in right. Meanwhile, for the Cotuit Kettleers, leading things off, another familiar face to the Gateman. It's last year's Wareham standout and Tommy Troy, the second baseman out of Stanford. Gravy, first pitch. Called strike one, in the outer half. Tommy Troy got his revenge tour started early against Wareham earlier this season at Lowell Park. 0-1 pitch, rocked straightaway center. Diodati now will take a few steps back and straightaway he'll make the grab. One down, top first, no score. And Cam, you think back to that first game where these two teams faced off, and it was Tommy Troy who lifted a solo home run out of the park in the bottom of the ninth to walk it off, a 6-5 Cotuit win. But you go back from there to tonight, it's a totally different Kettleer team. More on that in a moment. Here's Carter Trice, designated hitter out of NC State. First pitch. Shows bunt, pulled back. The righty takes a called strike instead of a fastball in the lower half. The MLB draft, of course, coming up this weekend. A lot of the players who are expected to be drafted, at least in the first 10 of the 20 rounds, well, they're no longer on the Cape. 0-1 pitch, fouled away, back over to the first base side. So they're no longer here. They're either back home, getting some last training preps in order, draft meetings with some pro teams, things like that. They're not actively playing anymore. And the team that's been impacted the most by that is this Cotuit squad.
The 4th of July batting order, 3 out of the 9 are still on this team. That's huge for a Cotuit team that relied so heavily on the big pieces that started the season on the Kettleers. Guys like Cam Collier, Brooks Baldwin, Chandler Simpson, and all of them are expected to go into the draft in a week.
1-2 pitch falls away, much the same as the first ball that Miss did. Count even at 2 apiece. But you're right. Players like Chandler Simpson and Brooks Baldwin were two of the Cape League's top hitters in terms of batting average during their time at Cotuit. 2-2. Cut on and miss. Fastball went past him. Trice is retired on strikes. The first today, to Jacob Cravy's credit, his 12th of the summer.
Good pitch from Jacob Cravey. He's tailing a lot of his breaking balls away from hitters, and that's what I like most from Cravey. I've talked about it most of this season. When you can have lateral movement rather than trying to work vertically from top to bottom, that's where Cravey finds the most success.
First lefty hitter faced today in C.J. Kafis. First pitch fouled off third base side. Count 0-1. For Kafis, a rising junior, University of Miami. 282 hitter coming into tonight. 0-1 offering. Fastball above the letters. Count even at 1 apiece. Meanwhile, this is a Wareham Gateman team that offensively really hasn't changed much in the last 3 weeks. We've seen the same consistent faces coming up in big-time spots. Of course, the top two being Max Anderson and Hogan Windish. 1-1 pitch, sails away. Ball 2.
And Cade, I think that's why Wareham has found a whole lot of success in the last week and a half. 5 wins in their last 9, only 1 loss in this 9-game stretch. So you go with the consistent faces, and they're paying off.
2-1 pitch, fouled off once again to the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 3-hole hitter in Kafis. Cravey looking for a smooth 1-2-3 inning to start off tonight's game. Wind blowing out to right center. The 2-2. Cut on and missed. Off speed. Kafis couldn't connect, and that's the end of the top of the first. Back-to-back Ks from Jacob Cravey ends it, and we go to the bottom half, still scoreless. Here at Spillane Field are the Cotuit Kettleers and your Wareham Gateman, as we'll be back for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Each and every game here at Spillane Field is made possible by our sponsors. Let's take a moment to recognize Gateway Tavern, Coastal Orthodontics, Fairway Financial, Joanne Stevenson, Sullivan Wine and Spirits, Deb Levesque Massage Therapy, the Law Office of Mark Deshays, Office Technology Group, J&M Baseball Academy, South Coast Health, Minkle Boys Catering, 80 Makepeace, Reed Custom Soils, Soft as a Grape, Bay Motor Inn, Point Sign, Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week, Cranberry Self-Storage, Village Signs, the Law Office of Lang, Exiferis, and Bullard, Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP, Robertson's GMC, Effie's Homemade, Wareham Country Market, the Wareham House of Pizza, Robbery's Tree Service, Patty Wild, Onset Bay Association, Select PT, El Mariachi, Water Whiz, and Cool Cone. Thank you once again to our sponsors of your Wareham Gateman.
Back at Spillane Field, Wareham, Massachusetts. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Still scoreless are the Cotuit Kettleers and the Gateman. Cade, Crenshaw, Cameron Ezeir, Claire Foley with you tonight on the call. And Cam for Cotuit, well, they've said this is going to be a bullpen game. They've got an opener out there in Jaden Payton, the right-hander out of Georgia Southern, but we're not expecting him to have a very extended outing today for the Kettleers. But first off, let's look at today's starter.
Yeah, Jalen Payton in now his second game against the Wareham Gatemen. His first back on July 8th. It was a 7-2 win for Wareham. Came out of the pen, an inning of work, gave up 3 earned runs, so not that much success against this Gateman team. Payton out of Georgia Southern was a two-way player, but mainly a weekend starter for the Eagles.
Getting it underway for the Gateman, the leadoff spot is Ryan Campos. He'll be the designated hitter tonight out of Arizona State. Righty on lefty. First pitch from Payton. Called strike one, the changeup on the outer half in this righty on lefty matchup. Defensively for the Kettleers, Loma Vita's behind the plate. Wilkerson at third. Ketchup, yes, Ketchup is at short. Troy at second. Johnson at first. The outfield's Cafus, Park, and Harris from left to right. 0-1, foul back behind home plate by Campos. The count moves 0-2. 208 average for the redshirt freshman. "11 days removed from his last homer game at Dartmouth Dennis. The 0-2 pitch off the plate is the fastball. Ball 1.
One statistic that has my eyes popping for Ryan Campos, 12 of his 15 hits on the summer against righties.
That's exactly what he's facing here in Payton. Campos awaits the 1-2 pitch. Grounder over to Ketchup at short. On one hop, he ranges to his left, makes a throw across in the glove of Johnson for out number 1. How interesting is that? You hear over the PA system, now batting is the first baseman, Hogan Windish. His first start this season at first. But he came into the Gateman's roster this summer as an infielder, a middle infielder at that, from UNC Greensboro. Now he's played left, center, and first. Righty on righty. Payton with one away and the base is empty. Pitch. Comes up. Nearly clipped him. Missed the hands just barely. Count 1-0. Windish last night in what was just a 5.5 inning affair. The Chatham Anglers before Spillane Field experienced some lighting problems that forced the game to end. 1-0, fouled back into the fencing. So the game was called due to there not just being enough light on the field. It became a safety issue. You understand why. But Windish in limited time did go 0 for 3, but he also drove in 2 of the 5 runs the Gatemen put on the board en route to that 5-5 tie with Chatham. 1-1 offering. Fastball upstairs, ball 2. He's just been as consistent as can be and coming up in big spots, hasn't he? The Cape League's leader in RBIs with 19.
He actually entered yesterday's game second with 17, and even without an actual hit, he came up and brought across a couple more.
2-1 toss. Breaking ball down in the dirt for ball 3. Max Anderson in the on-deck circle. The inning continues. Owen Diodati will bat in the cleanup spot this frame for the Gateman. Nobody on, one away, the 3-1 pitch. Tried checking his swing, but Windish went around the fastball outside. bat really just brought his whole body on that turn. Count now full.
Also worth mentioning, this wasn't Hogan Windish's bat to start the season. A couple games ago, he broke his bat, and he's now had to rely on this one with the cherry colors on top.
Payoff pitch outsides the fastball, and a full count walk is drawn by Hogan Windish to put a batter on for Max Anderson with one out in a scoreless bottom first inning. Hey, you're right. You know, Windish had so much success with that first bat he had, and of course, in a hitter's mind, the bat is special, and you take great pride in that bat with everything you've accomplished with it. And then, but as Wood tends to do, it breaks when it connects on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 1 on, 1 away, the pitch to Anderson. Breaking ball in the dirt outside, count 1-0. So he breaks that bat, and then it was a little bit of a slumping streak for Windish. For the first time this season, he went back-to-back games without a hit, and then he finds Old Red, as I would like to call it. Just that cherry coating on top. Of course, wood down the barrel there, and beautiful bat. The 1-0 offering. Called strike one in the lower half, the fastball on Anderson. Count even at 1 apiece. And ever since, Hogan Windish has gotten back to the Windish of old and consistently finding hits at the plate and, like we said, driving in consistent runs for the Gateman. Righty on righty for Anderson. Payton comes set at the letters. He'll toss a pick over to first, but nothing really intentional. Johnson's foot was nowhere even near the first base bag, but Windish got back in any case. Anderson 1 for 2 last night. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball called, strike 2 on the outer edge. Max didn't like it too much, shaking his head still in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Gateman's 3-hole hitter. One on, 1 away, bottom first. 1-2 pitch from Payton. Soft dribbler over to catch up at short. He flips a second for 1. Troy's throw to first. Not in time for 2. Anderson will beat it out up the line. It'll be a fielder's choice, 6-4 putout. And that'll put 2 away for Owen Diodati. At the bottom of the first, still no score between the Gateman and Cotuit. Diodati spent the last 3 seasons at Alabama. Coming up this fall, though, planning to go back, if you will, I guess closer to home. He's from Canada's Ontario, which is just north of the Great Lakes of Michigan. So he's going back to Oregon. So you could say I guess he's going closer to the Canadian border, but not necessarily closer back to the home of Ontario. The 2-out pitch, breaking ball falls inside, nearly tapping the toes of Diodati. Ball 1.
Also, Owen Diodati, a returner to the Gateman, 9 multi-hit games a season ago in 36 games, 246 average, a mainstay, and it's great to see him. We've said it multiple times, great to see him back in a Gateman uniform.
Indeed it is. The 1-0, fastball up and out, ball 2. And this is a guy who made an immediate impact once he got here. Lifted his first home run and only home run to date this season. And what was it, his 3rd game at Hyannis? Went opposite field. They have a short left field fence. Just 370 out there. Just snuck it over. The 2-0. Outside and away. It's ball 3. But just to, when I say a short right field force, 370s, of course, nothing short. But just to be able to go opposite field with that power, something special Diodati has. The 3-0 offering to Diodati. Fastball inside. It's a 4-pitch walk. Anderson jogs his way over to second. He'll be the lead runner with 2 batters on for Kellum Clark, right fielder out of Mississippi State. Gateman trying to attack early with a runner in scoring position. And Anderson at second. Diodati on at first. 2 outs in a scoreless bottom first inning. Righty on lefty. Payton, the right-hander out of Georgia Southern, comes set of the letters, chest high. And the 2-out pitch to Clark. Missing in. Count 1-0.
Oddly enough, this is a common theme against the Wareham Gatemen. In yesterday's tie against Chatham, a really wacky game, Wareham forced 9 walks. Now Mike Roberts is going to head out to the bump to give a talking to Jalen Payton, because this is a pitching staff for Cotuit that ranks top half in the league in the amount of walks that you could actually say that they give up top half amount of walks in the league, a team that's eclipsed over 100 walks as a pitching staff in the first half of the season. So it's something that Mike Roberts really needs to walk through with his pitchers, find the strike zone and keep attacking it, because Wareham has done a great job forcing the pitchers to attack outside the zone.
Payton, meanwhile, has thrown 5 straight pitches to miss the zone. He walked Diodati on 4, Clark an early 1-0 count. For the home plate umpire, could walk out and break up the conference. Mike Roberts says, "Don't worry, Mr. Finn, you don't have to." I'll walk back to the dugout. Already some activity starting to kick up in the Kettleers pen, and that's pretty much what we expected. We were told this is a bullpen game, and Payton is simply just the guy to get it started. Don't expect much endurance from him in here tonight. 2 on, 2 away. The 1-0 offering. Clark sees it outside. Breaking ball misses. Count 2-0. You look back, Cam, last night, this is a Gateman team that displayed a lot of patience at the plate, drew 9 walks in 5 innings of work against Chatham. Payton set. Fires the 2-0. Breaking ball picks up some dirt on the way in. Ball 3. Runners remain at first and second. 7 straight pitches to miss the zone for Jalen Payton. Anderson at second. Diodati behind him at first. 2 away, bottom first inning. 3-0 offering. Fastball, called strike 1, the top half of the zone, heart of the plate. Blake Wright in the on-deck circle, but it'll be up to Kellum Clark to keep this first inning alive for Wareham. Payton with a 3-1 count, deals. Fastball, foul back. Count goes full.
Not surprised that Kellum Clark had the green light. In his last 5 games, he's batting .381. It's a hitter that's busted out on the scene after having early season success but struggling in the middle of the season.
Second full count walk in this first inning. The previous, Logan Windisch drew a walk. 2 aboard, 2 away. A 3-2, up and in's ball 4. Nearly taking off a piece of the jersey of Kellum Clark. And that will load the bases. A fielder's choice and back-to-back walks dealt by Payton will bring up Blake Wright. Clemson Tiger. But we'll have to wait to see what he does at the dish. Mike Roberts taking his time, walking out to the mound to speak with Payton. You have to expect that this may be the end of the afternoon for today's opener for Cotuit. And it looks to be. Bases loaded. 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning. Blake Wright is due up at the dish, and we'll tell you about the new arm he'll be facing when we return for more Wareham Gateman baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP, have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights. Be prepared and contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Gateman Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, Robertson's GMC, we are professional grade, power like a pro.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It only takes 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
New pitcher on the mound with the bases loaded in quite a jam is Christian Little, heading to LSU from Vanderbilt, in which he played last spring. A player in now his 5th outing on the summer. Christian Little on the bump. Back to you, Cade.
Here's Blake Wright, first pitch. Cut on and misses the fastball in the outer half. 0-1. Bases loaded. Anderson at third. Diodati at second. Kellum Clark on at first. The Gateman this season hitting .286. When there's no vacancy left on the base paths. The 0-1 toss. Fouled away. Strike 2. Little a 10-12 ERA. Not so good. An 0-1 record. 4 games, but now 2 starts under his belt. This is his 5th. 8 innings prior with 7 strikeouts to 3 walks. Little peering in, turns and deals the 0-2 punch. Right, lets the fastball miss up and out for ball 1. Bases loaded, 2 outs. In the bottom of the first inning, still scoreless are the Gateman and the Kettleers. Righty on righty. Wright trying to put Wareham on the scoreboard first. Little likes the pitch. The 1-2. Cut on and missed. Off speed inside, got Blake Wright to cut on it, and that'll be the end of the first inning where the Gatemen leave the bases loaded. We go to the top of the second. Still no score here at Spillane Field. We'll be back from a Wareham Gateman baseball when we return on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com. Your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
We want our money to work as hard for us when we retire as we did working to accumulate it. My name is Steve Anzoni, and I am president of Fairway Financial Insurance Agency. Money is just a tool to help you to do what you ultimately want to do, which is to travel, spend time with your kids, grandkids, and do other stuff. And I want to be the guy that's going to help you navigate the course of life, to help you avoid those sand traps and get you onto the green and into the hole with greater financial confidence.
We're back at Spillane Field, and we make our way into the top of the second inning, where it'll be 4, 5, 6 due up in the Cotuit Kettleer order. Still no score. It's Cotuit and Wareham through 1, although, Cam, you can attest to it. The Gatemen had a big opportunity in the bottom half of the first with the bases loaded, but a strikeout to end it.
Unfortunately for a team that seemed to brush away the woes with the bases loaded in the past few games, they returned to that previous fortune in which they've struggled.
Well, the first pitch to Tyler Johnson's a called strike on the inner half off the hand of the right-hander Jacob Cravey. The tall man from Andalusia, Alabama. He's working against Johnson, the second baseman out of Coastal Carolina. Righty on lefty, the 0-1 pitch. Change up, got him to swing through. Bottom half with some break on it. Good pitch from Cravey. 0-2 on Johnson. And that was one of those swings that he knew he should have held back, but sometimes that bat just carries enough weight to bring him around. Cravey looking for his third strikeout. The 0-2 is fouled back into the fencing. Johnson stays alive on 2 strikes. Cravey ended the first on back-to-back strikeouts. It's part of a 1-2-3 inning. A warm summer day in Wareham. The 0-2 cut on and missed. Make it 3 strikeouts in a row for Jacob Cravey. That's 1 away in the top of the second.
Now Tyler Johnson has struck out 22 times to just 5 walks, but a reminder, this is a .322 hitter, and Jacob Cravey sent him down swinging.
And that'll bring up Ole Miss's Calvin Harris, the right fielder from Peosta, Iowa. Nobody on, one away. Righty on lefty for Harris at the dish. First pitch. Grounder over to the right side. Padilla gives chase, but he'll let it fall through for a base hit as it rolls to the feet of Kellum Clark in right. The first hit allowed today by Cravey. Well, that'll put one aboard with one away in the top of the second. Still no score with Cotuit and Wareham.
We've talked a lot about Cotuit losing a plethora of players. Calvin Harris has been a breath of fresh air, a .294 hitter that's hit number 6 on the summer. His first game was July 7th, and ever since then, he's been one of the most consistent players on this team.
Here's Eddie Park, the center fielder out of Stanford. Righty on lefty with Harris inching off first. Runner goes. Pitch is fouled away from Park. Count 0-1. Calvin Harris is such a special bat to have in your lineup. A power-hitting lefty. Of course, Ole Miss just brought home the national championship, the Fighting Mike Biancos. And you saw that viral highlight clip, if you will, where the Rebels hit 3 straight home runs back-to-back-to-back in Omaha. Calvin Harris is one of those 3. 0-1 offering to Park. Pitch on the way. Fastball up and out. Burks leaps out of his stance to grab it to even the count at 1-1. Park, a rising junior for the Stanford Cardinal. Although he attends college cross country, he's an Oxford, North Carolina native. What a shell shock that is. California's, or from the Carolinas to California. The 1-1 upstairs, ball 2. Kind of makes me think of that country song, Heads Carolina, Tails California. You know it?
I don't.
It's a good one. Forget who sings it, though. There's been a couple, but there's one that's it. You know, like the original or the most well-known, if you will. The 2-1 pitch from Cravey. Park sees it high. It's ball 3. Yeah, it's like heads Carolina, tails California. Somewhere greener, somewhere warmer. Let's talk about, somebody wanting to find a new place, new start. 3-1 offering. Park shows bunt and pulls back as ball 4 dives inside on him. That'll put 2 aboard with a 1-out walk, the first issued today by Cravey. Runners at first and second with 1 out for Colby Wilkerson. The North Carolina Tar Heel makes his debut tonight for Cotuit. 5'10", 170-pound third baseman. He's got Harris in scoring position. Cravey in an early jam, but a ground ball can work him out of it. Runners at first and second. Infield at double play depth. 1 away. The pitch. Liner through the right side, base hit. Calvin Harris gets the windmill around third. Clark's throw goes to the infield. Harris easily scores, and it's 1-0 Cotuit in the top of the second inning. An RBI base hit from Colby Wilkerson in his debut at bat.
I attacked that ball. Jacob Cravey was just trying to deliver a pitch by. It was almost one of those hoping it's a take pitch from the batter, and a really good job by Colby Wilkerson to poke it opposite way. And his debut for the Kettleers, the good sign to see if you're a Cotuit fan.
Well, here's my favorite name in the CCBL. It's Caleb Ketchup, the shortstop from Lipscomb. Runners at first and second, 1 away. The pitch. Ketchup sees a call to strike 1 on the outer half. And even Cotuit's wearing, that Ketchup may be expired, but Ketchup-colored jerseys, A dark maroon, black numerals trimmed out in white, Cotuit written across the chest. Righty on righty. Cotuit leading by an early run. 0-1 pitch to Ketchup. Fastball dots the outside corner. Count 0-2.
Yeah, Caleb Ketchup in just his second game for the Cotuit Kettleers. He played yesterday against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in a 6-6 tie. Went 1 for 4.
Cravey from the bump. 2 aboard, 1 away. 0-2 punch. Off speed, cut on and missed. Strike 3 will sit down Ketchup. That's the 4th strikeout of the afternoon for Cravey. We're just through an inning and 2/3 now. Incredible job from him. That matches his strikeout total, and we alluded to it a little bit earlier, how he had a great outing a week ago, 5 innings against Orleans. Well, across those 5 innings, he only had 4 strikeouts. Tonight, a much quicker approach to that same number.
like I said, picking out his locations rather than trying to deliver the heat by the bats of the players at the plate.
2 on, 2 outs. Here's Caleb Lomavita, catcher out of Cal. First pitch, grounder over to Anderson at third. Charging is the third baseman. He throws across the diamond. Windish had to leap off the bag and couldn't come down in time. A base hit for Lomavita. Third of the afternoon for Cotuit, and that will load the bases for the top of the order in Tommy Troy. The second baseman who just came a single shy of the cycle in his first game of the summer that came against Wareham earlier this season. Bases loaded. 1 out, or 2 outs. The 1-2 misses low. That's ball 1. The 1-0 pitch off the plate. Count 2-0. Bases loaded, 2 down, top second inning. Cravey turns and deals the 2-0 pitch. Just off the plate. That's ball 3. That pitch didn't miss from Cravey by much. Just hung on the outside of the plate. 3-0 pitch. Troy tried checking his swing. The home plate umpire is going to say he went, and Troy can't believe it. There would be a bases-loaded walk to make it a 2-0 lead for Cotuit. And Mike Roberts is emerging from the third base box, is not happy about it.
I mean, Tommy Troy stopped before when it would be a strike, but a lot of the times when the follow-through is stopped, it's kind of deceiving because he probably brought the bat back, which is what home plate umpire Michael Finn saw.
3-1 in the dirt, and that'll be ball 4. Walking in comes Eddie Park. And it's now 2-0 Cotuit on a bases-loaded walk from Cravey, his second free pass today.
And again, when Jacob Cravey tries to work top to bottom, it's where he struggled today, where he struggled most of this season, his first 3 starts. I think it's all about working laterally if you're Jacob Cravey.
Eddie Marco makes his way out to the mound for a quick conversation from Cravey. In the meantime, we'll take a look at our Cape League standings. So far, the Gatemen have gained some traction on this Cotuit team, but still have a ways to go.
Yeah, the Cotuit Kettleers only 1 win in their past 10 games, which rests them at 33 points. Still atop the West Division, but you're right, the Wareham Gatemen, after winning 5 of their last 9, have 26 points. So instead of a 13-14 point gap, it's only a 7-point gap between the first team in the West and the 4th team in the West.
And that's much the reason you look to see how has Wareham made up so much ground. When the last 10 games, Wareham's won half of those. They're 5-2-3. Meanwhile, Cotuit, just 1 win in their last 10. Here's the 2-out pitch to Carter Trice. A quick foul ball that went into the third base bleachers rather quickly. Bases loaded with 2 outs for Trice, who's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Cotuit team looking for their first win in 11 days. 0-1 offering. Breaking ball falls into the zone. Count 0-2 to the 2-hole hitter. Wilkerson at third. Catch up at second. Lomavita on at first. The 0-2. Foul back into the fencing. As Trice stays alive on 2 strikes. Bases loaded. No vacancies left. 2 outs. The 0-2. Fastball called. Strike 3 in the top half of the zone. To sit down Trice, that's the 5th strikeout of the afternoon for Cravey. But 2 runs come across, an RBI hit from Wilkerson, and a bases-loaded walk drawn by Tommy Troy. Makes this a 2-0 Cotuit game. We'll be back for the bottom of the second. We return for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Mark Deshays has been practicing law in southeastern Massachusetts for over 30 years. His primary focus is on all aspects of real estate law, including residential and commercial real estate transactions, commercial leasing, land development, land use and zoning law, and land conservation matters. If you need representation, call now at 508-993-2300.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League, offering residential sales and vacation rentals across the Cape. We help you turn someday into right now. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
The Kettleers have taken an early 2-run lead on the Gateman. We make our way into the bottom half of the second inning, as it'll be 7-8-9 due up in the Wareham order, led off by Jack Hausinger, the left fielder. Get that, second time we've seen him in the outfield this season out of Ezeir. Usually he's the standard second baseman for this team. Christian Little on the bump. The right-hander turns and deals. First pitch, the lefty hitting Hausinger falls in the dirt off the plate. Count 1-0. Kim, you go back through the last inning of action we've had. Bottom of the first, well, Wareham couldn't capitalize on a bases-loaded situation. For Cotuit, well, they didn't let the opportunity pass them by as the 1-0 pitch misses inside for ball 2. Brought 2 runs across in the top of the second inning.
But this is where you start if you're the Gateman. The bottom of the order, oddly enough, was only retired once in yesterday's tie against Chatham in 3 innings.
2-0. Called strike 1 in the top half. Base is empty as we get the bottom of the second underway. The 2-1 off the plate, ball 3.
So more on that bottom of the order yesterday. They drew a total of 5 walks, had 3 singles, 2 RBIs, and a hit by pitch. Unbelievable.
3-1 offering to House. Driven up into center field, backing up his park. He's running towards the fence. He puts his glove in the air, and as he approaches the warning track, and this field is a pitcher's friend, 410 to straightaway center. He makes the grab. That ball may have traveled farther than any from Jack Hausinger all season long, but it falls for the first out in the bottom half of the second.
Got a good barrel on it off the bat. Good height. Carried in the jet stream just a little bit with slight winds. But yeah, fell into the glove of Park.
First pitch to Brian Padilla. Foul back to the fencing. Strike 1's the fastball. You think to a place like Yarmouth Dennis for a 370 center field fence, that's a home run for Jack Hausinger. 1 away, the 0-1. Fastball in the dirt from Little to even the count. Fastball, curveball, changeup. Primary guy is Christian Little. Also throws a sinker and a cutter in there, but not too often. 1-1 offered. Fouled away from Padilla for strike 2. It's hot. It's humid. Yesterday we had 30-mile-per-hour winds. I think those would be quite enjoyable right now. 87 degrees in Wareham. Humidity level at 45%. The 1-2. In the air but out of play. It's 87, but according to that heat index, feels like 89. Have I ever told you my opinion on the heat index?
No.
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Base is empty. 1 out, the 1-2. Up and out, count even at 2 apiece. You know, you think about the heat index, right? And the heat index is just this made-up figure that we can say, well, we have the heat index. The temperature says this. Our measurement tools say it is this, but it feels like this, 2-2. So just everyday life, okay? If you could say, whatever this is, don't really read into that. It's going to feel like this. It's going to look like this.
I'll give you an example. 3-2 pitch to Padilla. Ball 4, low and outside, and he'll draw the 1-out walk. First issued today by Little out of the pen. And that'll bring up a Gateman debut in Devin Burks, catcher out of Kentucky. Been here just a few short days now, but Burks, a player who stands at 6'3", 210 pounds. Had limited action this spring with the Wildcats, just 20 games, but he made the most of it. A .378 average. 4 doubles, 3 home runs. Pickoff throw to first, back in time as Padilla. 10 RBIs for Burks. He's working against Little. It's righty on righty. 1 aboard, 1 away. The pitch to Burks. Off the plate, count 1-0. So back to this heat index, right? Just think. You go out on a first date, okay? You bring your date back to the parking lot. You're about to go your separate ways. And they see the vehicle you're driving, okay? Of course, you don't want to show up and make a bad first impression. For me, first impressions are everything. The 1-0 pitch to Devin Burks on the way. Chop foul off the plate. Count even at 1-1. So you could just use the heat index method. I know this looks like a 1993 Ford Pinto, but the heat index says it's a Cadillac or a Ferrari, right? It's a big difference. And it's just because you just make something up that it's going to feel like this. The 1-1 over to first. Padilla's back in time. But that's all because of the heat index. You keep that in mind. Whatever you see, don't believe it. Just make up whatever you want. That's the heat index. The 1-1 pitch. Burke sees in the dirt. It's ball 2.
So do you not believe the weather app when it just gives you 77 degrees or 78 degrees?
Yes, I believe it because that's the measurement of the temperature. We have devices that will tell you what it is.
You don't believe the add-on of, oh, this is then the heat index.
Who determines the heat index?
Have you ever been somewhere and you feel, oh, it's
2-1, grounded through the left side, base hit. Padilla jogged his way into second. It's a 1-out single for Devin Burks, and in his debut at bat with the Gateman, he finds a way on the base paths. 2 aboard, we go back to the top of the order, and Ryan Campos, 0 for 1 tonight. A ground out back in the first inning, but suddenly the Gateman have the go-ahead run coming to the plate.
Do you ever feel like it is hotter than what the weather app says?
Well, sure, but what do we do to put an exact number on it? You can always say, man, it just feels hotter than 87. But thermometers say 87. Little will fake a throw back to second to bring the lead runner Padilla back to the bag.
Doesn't it allow some error, though? There's a bit of a range because 1,000% sure it is 77, 78 degrees or 87 today.
87 to 89. Same difference between a Ford Pinto and a Cadillac. Two aboard, 1 out, pitch outside to Campos, an early 1-0 count. Now, no, you don't have a vehicle, so you don't have to worry about that.
That's true. I did, though.
You did?
Yes.
What was the first car for Cameron Ezeir?
It was a 2011 Hyundai Sonata.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but I mean, it's 2011, so it's a newer model. The 1-0 outside. Fastball down the dirt from Little, struggling to find the zone early on here in this second frame.
Well,
count 2-0.
Based off the heat index, it was a Lamborghini.
Exactly, right? You just throw it out there, this heat index. We're going to change it all. For me, it was a 1994 white Ford Ranger with a lime green stripe down the side. Looked like a marshmallow on the road. Runners at first and second. 1 away, the 2-0. Campos drives it out of play. Strike 1. So I know this looks like a 1994 Ford Ranger. But according to that heat index, well, things are a little bit different. Padilla reached on a 1-out walk. Burks followed that up with his debut single of the season. Here's Campos. Men at first and second, 1 away. Bottom second inning, Gateman trailing by a pair. The 2-1 toss to Campos. Fastball over the heart of the plate. Called strike 1. Or called strike 2, I should say. Even the count. Righty on lefty. The Gateman left the bases loaded in the first.
Now for the second straight inning, they have a runner in scoring position with Padilla at second. Burks behind him. One away. Little, ready's at the letters. The 2-2 pitch. Grounded foul, third base side by Campos. Off speed was left on the outer half. Campos sent it opposite way. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ryan Campos has come up in a whole lot of clutch positions this summer, but in his last 3 games is 1 for 11, so this could be a good sight to see Ryan Campos back in a position where he can pick up a ribby, especially with his team down 2-0.
Gateman having to make up ground early. It's Campos with 9 RBIs this season. A base hit could take him into double digits. 2 on, 1 out, the 2-2 pitch. Change up, cut on and missed. Great break as well on the off speed from Little. Will sit down Campos. That is the second strikeout of the afternoon for Christian Little. And that'll bring up Hogan Windish, Cape League's RBI leader, 19 this season. But if you're Wareham, numbers 20 and 21 would sound a whole lot better. Cotuit leading 2-0, bottom second inning. With 2 outs, the Gatemen have runners at first and second. Windish at the plate. Righty on righty, first pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. Outer half, 0-1. Little looks back to the runner at second. That's Padilla. Fires home the 0-1. Fastball sails away, but Windish gave chase. Count moves 0-2. Padilla at second. Burks at first, 2 away. The 0-2 pitch. Windish sees in the dirt. It gets past the catcher Loma Vida, and both runners will move up a bag. To second and third go Burks and Padilla respectively. And suddenly the Gatemen are in a much better spot to try to tie this game, because now all they need is potentially a base hit from Hogan Windish to do it. The tying run stands at second for Wareham in the bottom of the second inning. And keep in mind, because of the lighting issue, today's game will go by the sunlight, so you're not guaranteed 9 innings in this one. You want to get the runs when you can. 2 on, 2 away. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul, third base side. Changeup was left on the inner corner. Windish dribbled it over towards the Cotuit dugout.
Huge opportunity for the Wareham Gatemen, batting .261 with runners in scoring position, but with 2 outs, 176. So a big drop off in really, really clutch situations.
Little deals the 1-2. Fastball in the dirt. Count even at 2 apiece. Wareham trying to erase an early 2-run deficit. And for the second straight inning, they don't want to leave a pair of runners in scoring position. Back in the first, the bases were left loaded. With 2 outs, the 2-2 pitch to Windish. Fastball fouled away, back over the right side. Count remains 2-2. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs this season for the Gatemen have not been their friend. Just a 178 average for Wareham hitters. After fouling off a pair, once again the 2-2. Cut on and miss. Fastball away. Windish chased after it and couldn't connect. That is the end of the bottom of the second. And the Gatemen will strand runners at second and third yet again. We go to the top of the third. We return with Cotuit leading 2-0 over Wareham. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Summer is here, and we are finally back to enjoying all our favorite outdoor activities. As temperatures rise, so does the risk for unexpected injuries. South Coast Health Urgent Care Centers are open, safe, and here to provide the care you need when you need it. Our 7 locations are open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Walk-ins are welcome, and having a South Coast Health physician is not required. Visit southcoast.org/urgent care to check wait times and reserve your spot today.
Soft as a Grape has 10 retail locations on Cape Cod. So even when you're cheering on your Gateman at any away games, stop into a Soft as a Grape store for the best Cape Cod products. No trip to the Cape is complete without a trip to Soft as a Grape.
Want your daily dose of news? Lucky for you, Wareham, Sipicon, and now Dartmouth Week has you covered. Whether you live in Wareham or in the surrounding areas, you can count on up-to-date news on sports, schools, and even the fine arts, courtesy of the partnership between Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week. Head to theweektoday.com and search Wareham, Sipicon, or Dartmouth for more.
We're in the top of the third at Spillane Field in Wareham, Massachusetts. Jacob Cravey back out on the mound as he'll deal with the 3, 4, 5 spots in Cephas, Johnson, and Harris. But a little more on Jacob Cravey. Gave up a couple runs there in the second inning, but this is a player that's never given up more than 2 earned runs in a start. Cade, how about that?
You're exactly right, Cam, and that's been the bright spot of Jacob Cravey so far this season is when he's allowed damage, it's been minimal. He's only hoping his offense can finally break through. They've now left 5 runners stranded through 2 innings. With Cephas at the dish, 2-0, dribbled foul back over to the first base side for strike 1. Cravey 5 strikeouts through 2 innings of work. The Gateman offense finding success as well. 2-1. Spiked in the dirt. Ball 3. They found success offensively, but just not in the runs category. Bases loaded, left in the first. Runners at second and third left moments ago in the bottom of the second. Cephas 0 for 1 tonight. He's one of those 5 strikeouts to Cravey's credit. 3-1. Grounded foul back towards Gateman dugout yet again. Count now full. Your umpires in today's game, Michael Flynn behind the plate, Tom Ryberg's over at first, and Joseph Peters manning down third. The 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul from Cephas. Off his own foot. He'll limp out of the box for a moment. Full count will remain. There go Cephas, Johnson, Harris. Due up for the Kettleers. Righty on lefty. 3-2 pitch. Off speed. Foul back into the glove of the catcher Burks and make it 6 strikeouts today for Jacob Cravey. An incredible job from the tall man from Andalusia, Alabama.
Okay, this is a Wareham team that ranks second to last in strikeouts amongst their pitching staff, and it's a team that's defying that thanks to Jacob Cravey, and he's matching what Michael Sansone, Jonathan Brand had done in the past couple of days with 7 each. He has 6 right now.
1 out toss to Johnson. Off speed upstairs. Not by much. Count 1-0. Johnson struck out back in the second. His first plate appearance. Base is empty. 1 away. The 1-0 pitch. The lefty hitter sees it up and out. Count even. Make that count goes 2-0. Cravey sends a fastball just off the inside edge. Ball 3. Gateman bullpen starting to do some stretching in right field. Cotuit leading by a pair. 3-0 offering. Grounded over to first. Windish fields it cleanly. He'll step on the bag himself. 2 down. 2 gone in the inning. With 2 outs on the board in the top of the third inning, Cotuit leads it by 2. Here's Calvin Harris, the right fielder out of Ole Miss. His first season in the CCBL spent last summer in the Northwoods League over in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, with the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. Righty on lefty. Harris going old school, no batting gloves, just a clump of dirt. First pitch, grounded foul, first base side. He reached on a single much the same way back in the second inning to split the first and second baseman. Cravey peering in, offers up the 0-1. Off speed, doesn't catch the inside half, and count even at 1 apiece. Harris, a former Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Iowa. 1-1. Popped up, opposite field, shallow left. Hausinger chases, but it's going to drop for a 2-out single. Making a multi-hit game for Calvin Harris. Singles in the second, now here in the top of the third. And he'll keep the third inning alive for Cotuit and bring up Eddie Park, the center fielder.
6 games for Calvin Harris, 2 multi-hit games. Had a 3-hit game against Harwich on July 9th, a pair of hits against Bourne and the Wareham Gateman on July 8th. So this is a player that just hits.
Park walked back in the second. One aboard, 2 away. The pitch lifted in the air, corner of left field. Hausinger gives chase towards the line, and on the sprint, he makes the grab. Sprinting into foul territory went Hausinger, but he made the catch nonetheless, and that'll be the end of the top of the third. Cotuit strands 1. We go to the bottom half, with the Kettleers still leading it by a pair. We'll return for more Gateman baseball. We return on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Reed Custom Soils is New England's leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installations and is the exclusive New England supplier of stabilized stone dust. Reed Custom Soils services over 300 golf courses and provides unique blends to fit your needs, all by experienced precision blenders. To learn more about how Reed Custom Soils can serve you, call toll-free 1-800-924-5335 or head to reedcustomsoils.com.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
Back for the bottom of the third. Cotuit holding a 2-0 lead over Wareham, as it'll be 3-4-5 due up in the Gateman order. That's Max Anderson, Owen Diodati, and Kellum Clark set to take swings for Harvey Shapiro's group. Anderson to lead things off. He's 0 for 1. Fielder's choice back in the first. Little remains on the bump. The right-hander out of LSU. First pitch. Anderson sees in the dirt. Count 1-0. Gateman facing an early deficit, but you can't say it's one that they haven't had their opportunities to not only take an early lead, but also erase this early 2 runs they trail by. Anderson fouls it off the mask of Loma Vita. Count even at 1 apiece. But the opportunity's been there. That's for sure.
5 left on base for the Gateman, and this is just the bottom of the third.
Bases loaded left in the first, runners at second and third in the second. Anderson looking to get things started on the right foot. The 1-1. Upstairs. Ball 2. Two-one pitch. Spiked away. Catcher couldn't even grab it. Count even at 2-2. Fastball missed wide right. Anderson 1 for 2 last night with an RBI in the tie with Chatham. 2-2 offering. Fastball. Call on the outside edge. Count Now full, excuse me. Three balls, 2 strikes to Anderson, the 3-hole hitter for the Gateman. Little fires, it's foul back to the fencing. Anderson stays alive on the full count. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3, inside edge. Anderson wasn't happy with it. They must have just found a way to paint the inside corner, Cam.
How about Christian Little? Yeah, he looked a bit inside, but good break on the tailing end for a pitcher in Christian Little. His season high in strikeouts, 4. He's already matched it, and he's now retired 3 in a row by way of the K, dating back to the second.
Here's Diodati, first pitch with 1 out. Fouled off the catcher yet again. Loma Vita's taken a beating behind the plate this inning. Count 0-1. Diodati walked back in the first. Little, a 1 pitch. Cut on and miss. Off speed outside. Diodati couldn't connect. No balls, 2 strikes. Diodati and in the on-deck circle, Kellum Clark will be the final 2 batters in the order to face Little since he came in with 2 outs back in the first out of the pen. The 0-2. Picks up some dirt with a fastball. Outside, ball 1. Look back at that first inning, Cam, and it's puzzling why this Gateman team couldn't bring a run across. 3 walks drawn, but failed to score. The 1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. Make it 5 strikeouts for Christian Little, 4 of them in a row, dating back to the second.
Season high for Little. And talk about a stark difference between Payton, who started this game only 2/3 of an inning, didn't give up a hit or an earned run, but walked 3 to striking out none, and now Little has all 5 Ks for the Kettleers.
Here's Kellum Clark, the right fielder from Mississippi State. Walked back in the first. Righty on lefty. The base is empty and 2 outs. First pitch, fastball, cut on upstairs. Count 0-1. Little turns and deals. 0-1 spiked in the dirt. Just in front of the plate to even the count at 1 apiece. For Kellum Clark, a Brandon, Mississippi native, back for his 2nd season with the Gateman. A much better offensive trip in year 2. The 1-1. High fly to center. Park ranges to his left from center field. He'll make the grab for out number 3. Make it 5 in a row that Christian Little has retired. He picks up strikeouts 4 and 5 here in the bottom half of the 3rd. We go to the top of the 4th. Cotuit leading by 2. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball. We return on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Highline Cruises, Barnstable Bats, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Cape Space, Christmas Tree Shops, UFOs, T-Mobile, Boston Better Business Bureau, Fairway Financial, Rogers Gray, and of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Gateman Baseball is officially sponsored by Robertson's GMC, the truck professionals. Located just 2 miles away on Cranberry Highway, Robertson's GMC, we are professional grade, power like a pro.
We go to the top of the 4th. Cotuit leads it 2-0 over Wareham. 7, 8, 9 due up in the Kettleers order. Cade Crenshaw, Cameron Ezeir, and Claire Foley with you tonight. Jacob Cravey back on the bump. The starter misses his first pitch outside. for ball one to Colby Wilkerson, third baseman out of North Carolina. His debut game with the Kettleers made an immediate impact. An RBI base hit back in the second inning. Cravey, 1-0, popped out of play, first base side. Burks initially turned around to watch it from behind the plate, but no play was to be made. Count even at 1-1. Cravey with 6 strikeouts today. The 1-1, high in the air, foul territory, right field. Clark racing into foul territory. He won't get there in time before he meets face to shrubbery out there. Ran into the bushes. Long fly ball, drops for strike 2. Wilkerson, 5'10", 170-pound third baseman. Cravey at 6'6", hurls one up high. Count even at 2-2. Two cut on, but a drop strike 3. A throw down from Burks to first in time. 1 out. 7 strikeouts today for Jacob Cravey. It has been remarkable to watch him work, especially with his swing and miss stuff this afternoon. No outs, or make that 1 out, nobody aboard for Caleb Ketchup, shortstop out of Lipscomb. Wrapped up his junior season there in Nashville. 1 out toss. Off the plate, ball 1. We talk about Cravey being 6'6", and of course, I think for most people who have great height, Cam, you're 6'4", is the fact that, you get asked, how tall are you? Quite often. You can attest to that. I can't, but you can. So I'm sure Cravey gets that question a lot. Just how tall are you? How often do you think Caleb Ketchup has got asked, is that really your last name? Awesome last name. I love it. My favorite name in the Cape.
How many mustard jokes do you think he gets?
Oh, too many to count. I don't like mustard.
You don't like any variations of mustard? I'm a big honey mustard guy.
Oh, I like honey mustard. The 1-1. Pitch misses low on the fastball. Count 2-1. Yeah, I like honey mustard. I like, back down in South Carolina, we have mustard-based barbecue sauce. That's always the go-to. The 2-1. Fouled away by Ketchup. Count even at 2 apiece. But just straight, like yellow mustard, no, not a fan.
A little too sweet for me.
Yeah, I just don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if it's the texture. I don't know. Now, mayonnaise, I'm all for. All for mayonnaise. The best way to make a grilled cheese sandwich is, obviously you would usually butter both sides of the bread to, get it toasty on the pan. No. Use mayonnaise next time. I'm telling you, your heart won't like you, but your taste buds will. 1 out, base is empty. The 2-2, cut on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Cravey. Ketchup is sat down.
Now batting the catcher from California, Berkeley.
2 away in the top of the 4th. That'll bring up Caleb Lomavita.
Wow, Cade. Entered this game did Jacob Cravey with 11 Ks and just delivered his 8th. Little mustard on it.
Oh, my. A 2 out to Lomavita down in the dirt. Count 1-0.
And yes, if you're wondering, I've had that in my back pocket for the last hour and a half.
I was going to say, once we got the lineup card, how many ketchup jokes did you start trying to think of?
A good 10 or 12.
I'm a huge fan of ketchup. Ketchup can go on just about anything. The 1-0 popped out of play, third base side, to even the count at 1-1.
I do have to clear something up. You said cheese sandwich? You mean a grilled cheese?
Yeah, grilled cheese. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard it called a cheese sandwich
Did I leave off the grilled? My bad. I called it grilled cheese. I don't know anybody that calls it a cheese sandwich.
That's why I was confused. I had to clear it up for our audience.
The 1-1. Liner down the line and into left field for a 2-out base hit. Rounding first, sprinting into second goes Lomavita. Hausinger's throw going to be close. The tag not in time. A close play at second, but with 2 away, Loma Vida rips a double. And that'll put a man in scoring position for Cotuit as they look to extend their 2-0 lead.
Shockingly enough, as that throw from Hausinger came into Brian Padilla's glove, and it was well before Loma Vida got over to second, I actually agree with this umpiring crew that he was safe at second because Loma Vida slid around the tag. So although Brian Padilla got there well in time, a great job from Loma Vida to get over to second and reach with his right arm on the outside of the plate.
He stands at second for the top of the order in Tommy Troy. Stanford Cardinal 0 for 1 tonight with a walk, but that walk was a big one. It was a bases-loaded walk. So Troy picks up the RBI. Cotuit looks to extend their 2-run lead. Loma Vida at second with 2 away in the inning. The pitch. Gravy misses away. Ball 1. The heat index and catch-up. 2 topics that I didn't think we were going to cover tonight, but also 2 topics that don't really go together that well. The 1-0, up high and off the glove of Burks. They'll roll back to the fencing, jogging into third base goes Loma Vida. And the Kettleers' 3rd run of the night stands just 90 feet from home.
It's really hard when you give up free bases to the Cotuit Kettleers because a lot of the times they're used to manufacturing it with 49 stolen bases on the season. That's a 3-way tie for second on the Cape. So whenever there's a wild pitch or a pass ball, it's always a detriment knowing that the Kettleers usually just get it by manufacturing.
A runner at third with 2 outs. It's a 2-0 count to Troy. The pitch skips low in the dirt for ball 3. Carter Trice in the on-deck circle. A big spot right now for Jacob Cravey. Can he get through 4 innings? He's tallied 8 strikeouts, but he has allowed 2 earned runs. Can he strand the third on third base? 3-0 pitch. Call and strike 1 is the fastball right down Broadway. 13th of July. Game 28 of 44 this summer. The 3-1 pitch. Grounder over to third. Anderson fields it there. His throw across in time to end the inning. Cotuit strands a runner at third base as Cravey works through another strong inning. We go the bottom half of the 4th. Cotuit holding strong. A 2-0 lead for the Kettleers. We return for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Whether it's life insurance to safeguard your loved ones, an umbrella policy to protect your teen driver, or making sure your home is covered from storm damage, Rogers Gray is there to guide you. Insurance is more than just a box to check. Trust Rogers Gray, a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Gateman would like to thank Wareham Country Market for helping to feed the Gateman players and staff after games. They are located about a quarter of a mile from the field on Route 6, offering a convenience store, a Dunkin' Donuts, and a deli.
Need physical therapy? Select Physical Therapy works directly with you and your physician to create a plan of care that meets your goals and needs, with 6 locations on Cape Cod and more across the country. Select Physical Therapy is the official provider of athletic training for the Wareham Gateman.
We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cotuit leads 2-0 over the Wareham Gateman. It'll be 6, 7, 8 due up in a Wareham order that has consistently had opportunities in this game. 5 runners stranded, but has just been able to get that big hit. Got some Grease playing over the PA system tonight. Little Summer Lovin', having a blast. You know, Grease Lightning. You know the movie, right?
Yes,
okay,
of course,
okay.
Yes.
The Pink Ladies. White T-shirts, leather jackets for the guys. Blake Wright's at the dish, righty on righty. First pitch from Little. Cut on to miss the fastball from Wright. Left up high. Count 0-1. Kettleers left a runner of their own at third base in the top half of this fourth frame. Meanwhile, Christian Little has tallied 5 strikeouts. He's retired the last 5 he's faced. The 0-1 fouled away, right side out of play. Count 0-2. And Little's a pitcher, Cam, that struggled through the first couple outings on the Cape. Came into today 4 previous appearances through just 8 innings and an ERA over 10. The 0-2 pitch off the plate is ball 1.
Called getting in the groove, Cade. When you can find your stride, a lot of the times that ERA shifts to the back of your mind.
Little deals the 1-2 pitch. It's an off-speed grounded foul. Back over towards the Kettleers dugout on the third base side. Blake Wright, who we didn't see in last night's 5-5 tie with Chatham. A Bel Air, Florida native, just wrapped up a sophomore campaign at Clemson, where he garnered third-team All-ACC honors. 1-2 pitch. Hard grounder on a fastball left high, but foul once again. Christian Little's leaving a lot of the pitches he's giving Blake Wright up in the zone. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Gateman's 6-hole hitter. The pitch. Outside and away, count even at 2-2. Two offered. Fouled away from Wright yet again. Now, I've got to be honest. We're talking about Grease a little bit earlier. Not a huge fan of musical movies.
Same.
Like, Greatest Showman, I understand. It's a masterpiece of its own. Just not for me. Like, I'm a comedy movie kind of person. Maybe a little drama. The 2-2. Grounder over to short. Moving up his catch-up. He'll throw across in time. 1 away. Bottom 4.
I agree with you, Cade. I'm not a musical type of guy. If I'm watching a movie, I want to sit in silence and bask in the glory of whatever is on my TV or in the theater. In musical, a lot of the times, you'll sing along, and I don't know. I'm more of a, crime drama type of movie person.
Now, I will say, the one movie that I associate with music the most, more on that in a moment, the 1-out pitch to Jack Hausinger. Hard chopper over to first. Johnson's there. He'll undertoss to a covering Little in time. 2 away. Anytime I think of Top Gun, right, I think of Highway to the Danger Zone. That's what comes to my mind. And that was the latest movie I've seen in the theater was the new one, Top Gun Maverick. You just, once you hear that Danger Zone song, you feel like you could go fly the jet.
Underrated part about most movies is the music that's
soundtrack.
Put, yeah, exactly, the music that's put under the scenes.
2 outs for Brian Padilla. First pitch to the righty. Fastball outside. 1-0 the count. Cotuit leading by a pair. They put those 2 runs on back in the top of the second inning. An RBI hit for Wilkerson and a bases-loaded walk dealt by Cravey. 1-0 offering to Padilla with the bases empty and 2 outs. Swung through. Fastball lower outer half to even the count at 1 apiece.
Brian Padilla just celebrating a birthday.
And he got to celebrate it by taking batting practice in Fenway Park. Not a better birthday present for a baseball player. The 1-1. Grounder over to short. Catch up yet again. Hesitates once. His throw across, though, is still in time. A 1-2-3 quick inning for Christian Little. We go to the top of the 5th. Cotuit holding strong. They lead it 2-0 over Wareham, as we'll be back to Spillane Field in a moment from a Wareham baseball.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
Wareham House of Pizza has been serving Wareham and Marion for over 40 years with steak and cheese, pizza, and subs. Located in Shaw's Plaza, head on over for pickup or let them deliver to you.
New pitcher on the mound for the Wareham Gateman is we are in the 5th inning is Will Koger III out of Louisville, 6'2", 195. Just wrapped up his sophomore season, his 5th appearance for the Wareham Gatemen this season, 11 2/3 innings prior. 5 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, 9 Ks to 5 walks, and here's the barn burner, Cade, a .77 ERA, and what do we always say when an ERA starts with 0? It's not just good, it's great.
Indeed it is. The Louisville right-hander has been stout as of late. For Will Koger, a scoreless inning streak of 7 coming into tonight. He has been in complete control when he's been on the mound here lately. It's his 5th appearance of the summer, as Cam alluded to, and has just been lights out here as of late. Last outing was last Thursday at Hyannis, 3 innings of no-hit baseball against the Harbor Hawks team. He picked up 2 strikeouts in that action of work. A Bardstown, Kentucky native will work against a Cotuit team that's put 2 runs on the board here tonight on 5 hits, but Jacob Cravey did a great job of holding them scoreless. After that, just 2 runs in the 2nd inning. Cravey would work through the 3rd and 4th frames while totaling 8 strikeouts tonight. Incredible job from Cravey, whose final line is 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 runs, both of which were earned, with 2 walks and the 8 strikeouts.
Jacob Cravey 1 shy of his collegiate high in strikeouts of 9. Entered today with only 11 Ks, 8 on the day. Wow.
And I'd love to know when he had those 9 strikeouts, because I don't know right offhand how long that outing was, because today was just 4 innings of work. Got 12 outs, 8 of them were strikeouts. First pitch to Carter Trice. Grounded foul, third base side. Count nothing in 1.
Well, Cade, I'll let you know, 6 innings of work against East Tennessee State for Jacob Cravey, in which he recorded those 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk to show for it.
I'd like to think if he pitched the next 2 frames, he'd get at least 1 strikeout to match that total. 0-1 to Trice. A designated hitter will cut on and miss strike 2. Fastball left up high. The NC State senior 0 for 2 tonight. Both strikeouts. Koger peering in. Looking to start out the 5th on the right foot. The 0-2. Cut on and missed. He sits him down. Great job from Will Koger. First out in the 5th inning is a strikeout. For Koger, it's his 10th of the season. Takes him into double digits, and that'll bring up C.J. Kafis. 0 for 2 tonight. Another pair of strikeouts. How about that? A 2, 3, 4 hitters, all of which are due up in this inning. Combined 0 for 7 tonight, with 5, 6 strikeouts make that. Pitch low in the dirt, missed by Koger. Count 1-0 to Kafis, the Miami Hurricane. Righty on lefty. Time call by the home plate umpire. Bases empty, 1 out, top 5. Cotuit leads it by a pair. And the 1-0 offering. High drive, deep right field. Going back on it as Clark gets off the top of the wall. It drops to the base. Clark now relays his throw in. It's cut off in the middle infield and sliding into second for a 1-out double. C.J. Kafis.
Second double of the summer for C.J. Kafis. Hit now number 12, and if you're Cotuit, you want this middle of the order to find their bat and to find their swing, and against a pitcher like Will Koger, it's not going to be easy. Coger sporting a sub-1 ERA, but that's how you get it started.
And that'll bring up Johnson. Out of Coastal Carolina, 0 for 2 tonight, but Cotuit yet another opportunity. A runner in scoring position, just one away in the top of the fifth. Coger comes set at the letters, and the little right-hander sends home the first pitch. Fastball gets through the legs of Burks. It'll roll back to the backstop. And jogging over to third base goes Cephas. The Kettleers' extra insurance run stands just 90 feet from home now. Wild pitch on Coger. Puts the runner at third.
So I find it cool. One really cool statistic that the Cape League follows on Point Street, their official website, is the amount of wild pitches. The Gatemen have the least in the league, and already a pair today.
Coger, the 1-0. In the air, right center field. That'll be a gapper base hit. Easily jogging home comes Cephas. Meanwhile, Johnson sprints his way into second. A one-out RBI double for Tyler Johnson makes this a 3-0 Cotuit lead.
4 doubles for Tyler Johnson this summer, his 20th hit, and now you're seeing why Cotuit started off the season 9-0, and although they only have 1 win in their last 10 games, still such a stout team. They're well coached by Mike Roberts, and it's a team that brings a winning culture, and they're proving it here with a roster that's been depleted over the last week.
With the runner at second, here's Calvin Harris. Righty on lefty with 1 out for the right fielder. First pitch from Coger. Down low in the dirt, gets away from Burks. Jogging over to third base goes Johnson. Second wild pitch this inning from Coger that's allowed a runner to advance a bag. Count remains 1-0 to Harris. 2 for 2 today is the Ole Miss Rebel. Pair of base hits in the second and third frames. Now keep in mind, we are approaching 6:30, hour and a half into this game. But we are not playing by the lights tonight. We're playing by the sunlight. And according to the meteorologist, sunset is not until after 8. So you can anticipate potentially another hour and a half of gameplay to work through this game. The 1-0, fastball catches the top half of the zone to even the count. Cam, this is a Cotuit team that, well, they're no stranger to playing by the sunlight. They have no lights at Lowell Park.
Yeah, Lowell Park is one of 3 ballparks on the Cape to have no lights, and if you include today, in which the Wareham Gatemen won't utilize their light fixtures, make it 4 on the Cape.
The 1-1. Down low in the dirt, past Burks. Johnson comes home to score. It's 4-0 Cotuit in the top of the 5th.
So get this, Cade. That's 3 wild pitches here in the 5th. It's also brought home a run like you just saw. And Wareham entered today as the only team with under 20 wild pitches on the summer. So all of a sudden it's getting away from the Gatemen.
Cotuit doubles their lead in this 5th frame, now up to 4 runs. Harris, meanwhile, looks on for a 2-1 count. Coger sends it home. In the dirt, ball 3.
Now you wonder if confidence is swaying away from Will Coger. Before this game entered with 2 runs to his name, only 1 earned run. He's already given up a couple today.
3-1 pitch to Harris. Up high is ball 4. First walk issued by Coger. Puts a runner on with 1 out for Eddie Park. Before Park, though, we'll see a mound conversation from pitching coach Eddie Marcotte. Cotuit leads 4-0 here at Spillane Field. But, Cam, what's the look around the Cape look like?
Yeah, let's do it. Yarmouth Dennis up on Bourne. We're in the bottom of the 5th in that one. In YD, a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox against a Bourne team that Wareham is slowly creeping up to in the standings in the West Division. So that's a game to keep an eye on. If you're a Gateman fan, you want Bourne to lose. So Wareham, even with the loss today, keeps an arm's length distance with the Bravos. And then Go over to Falmouth, and the Commodores are trailing at home to the Brewster Whitecaps 3-0. We're currently in the pregame in Orleans. The Harwich Mariners are taking on the Firebirds, and later tonight in 30 minutes time in Chatham, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks against the Anglers. Huge matchup for a Harbor Hawks team that's just 1 point behind the Cotuit Kettleers for first in the West Division.
Playoff spots could be up for grabs as we enter the final 3-week stretch of the regular season. Runner on at first for Park. One away. Koger deals first pitch. Fastball catches the outer half. Called strike one. Park tonight 0 for 1 with a walk. Just how close the standings are over in the West Division. Falmouth and Wareham separated by just 4 points. That's equal to 2 wins. Wins are 2 points, ties are 1. 0-1 pitch to the 6-hole hitter. Fastball up and out. Count even.
To make it easy on everyone viewing this broadcast, if Wareham wins and Bourne loses, then Wareham is just 2 points shy of Bourne in the 3rd spot, and that means the Gatemen are a win away from tying the Bourne Braves. So you're rooting for the Bravos to struggle.
The 1-1. Fouled off third base side. Strike 2. Currently, 4 out of 5 teams in each division will make the playoffs. The outsiders looking in. In the East, it's Chatham. They're 6-14-7 this year and 4 points out of 4th. Meanwhile, in the East, it's Falmouth at 10-15-2. Once again, 4 points out of 4th place, Wareham. 1 aboard, 1 away. The 1-2 pitch to the lefty hitter Park. Fastball called. Strike 3 inside half. Second strikeout for Will Koger in this inning. Second time Parks retired today. That'll bring up Colby Wilkerson. 1 for 2 is the North Carolina Tar Heel. An RBI base hit back in the 2nd. He would strike out in the 4th.
How about the Gateman pitching staff? 10 Ks, 8 for Cravey, 2 for Koger.
Harris stands at first with 2 outs. Wilkerson swings through a fastball. Strike 1. Koger comes set. Cotuit has scored 2 this inning. They now lead 4-0. The 0-1 pitch. Upstairs, count even. The Gatemen have seen their deficit double. Koger's first inning out of the pen after Cravey started and went 4. 1-1 toss, up and out. That's ball 2. Koger comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Foul back to the fencing. Strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Koger deals. Soft grounder over to Padilla at second. He'll flip over to first in time to end the inning. Cotuit tacks on 2 runs. They lead it 4-0 over Wareham. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Stay tuned. We'll hear from our Claire Foley on the other side when we return for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
Back in Wareham, Massachusetts, we go to the bottom of the 5th. Cotuit leads Wareham 4-0, but an incredible start today. From Jacob Cravey for the Gateman, and our Claire Foley's down on the sidelines with more.
Thanks, guys. Yes, I heard you guys talking at the beginning of today's game about how impressive Jacob Cravey was in his last performance against Orleans, where he went 5 innings with 4 strikeouts and only 2 hits. Now, today, he nearly matched his season total in strikeouts. He had 8 alone today, bringing him to 19 on the season. Now, as some pitchers have finished their summer with the Gateman, Cravey is showing that he's prepared to meet the moment and continue to be a reliable arm within the Gateman rotation. Guys?
Well, thank you, Claire, and that's exactly what he has shown. He has shown to be such a reliable piece of this Gateman rotation, Cam. To know you can have confidence in a starting pitcher, to know exactly what you're going to get, is such a relaxing feeling for a coaching staff.
Exactly. You have a pitcher on the mound that trusts his arm, so you can trust his ability, and that's exactly what Jacob Cravey exuded today, his ability to throw strikes and throw them at a high efficiency.
First pitch to Devin Burks, a call, strike 1 on the outside edge. Cravey's final line today, 4 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both of which were earned, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. 0-1 to Burks, called in the outer half yet again. 0-2. The Kentucky catcher was 1 for 1 today with a single back in the second. Little turns and deals the 0-2 pitch. Cut on and missed as the off-speed inside. 6 strikeouts today for Christian Little, through 3 1/3 innings of work out of the bullpen. We go to the top of the order with 1 out in the bottom half of the 5th. Cotuit leading by 4. That'll bring up Ryan Campos. 0 for 2 tonight. The Arizona State Sun Devil, a ground out and a strikeout. You know, Arizona State wasn't always the Sun Devils.
Really?
They weren't. They started out, first mascot were the Owls. Think about that one. And then they went with Bulldogs. The 1-out pitch, inside, nearly clipped the hip of Campos. He dances out of the way. Count 1-0. But then they ended up settling down on the Sun Devils because the student newspaper at Arizona State ran a poll to the campus community, and that was the leading vote winner of the race, was we're going to be the Sun Devils. The 1-0 pitch, strike 1 dealt in the outer half to even the count. Now, once you have a mascot name, that's great. You have to come up with the logo. So, of course, Sparky, he's been the mascot there forever. How did Sparky's image come about? Well, a former animator at Disney came up with Sparky, the Arizona State Sun Devil. 1-1 off the plate, ball 2. Change-up misses. And rumors always said that, well, that face you see on Sparky the Sun Devil was mirrored after that former Disney animator's boss. Now, of course, Walt Disney. The 2-1 pitch to Campos. Fastball low and in. Ball 3.
Huh, and it's very fitting with where Arizona State is and how hot it is in Tempe.
Whew. It's a warm one here tonight in Wareham, that's for sure. Especially according to that heat index. 89 degrees tonight. Maybe a little bit hotter, though, in Tempe. 3-1 pitch to Campos. Low and in. Ball 4. Second walk dealt by Little tonight as Campos takes first base with 1 out in the bottom half of the 5th to bring up Hogan Windish, UNC Greensboro first baseman tonight. A walk back in the 1st. He struck out swinging last time we saw Windish in the 2nd. Here comes Mike Roberts for a mound conversation with Little. There is some activity out in the Kettleers pen. That looks to be the end of Christian Little's day. 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3 innings of work for Christian Little. Great job, but the call to the pen has been made. And we'll take a short break here from Spillane Field and tell you more about the new arm on the mound. We return for more Gateman baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
What's up, Gateman fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gateman.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gateman gear today.
Hey Gateman fans, don't miss out as the Wareham Gatemen head to Worcester, Mass. to take on the Bourne Braves at Polar Park, the home of the Worcester Red Sox. This special game at Polar Park takes place Monday, July 25th with a 6:45 first pitch. Tickets start at just $10, so head to gateman.org to get yours today.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's back. The 2022 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game, presented by Milton Cat and hosted by the Wareham Gateman, is back after a 2-year hiatus. The game will be played at Spillane Field, home of the Gateman, on Saturday, July 23rd, 2022, at 7 Viking Drive, Wareham, Massachusetts. Gates open at 2 p.m., autograph sessions from 2:40 to 4:50 p.m., the home run hitting contest at 5 p.m., and game time is set for 6:05 p.m. For your safety, no coolers, backpacks, or other large bags of any kind will be allowed into the game. There will be several different concessions available for food, drinks, and other delights. Tickets are $5 per person and are on sale today at the concession stand or online at www.gateman.org. We look forward to seeing you all there.
We're in the 5th. New pitcher on for the Cotuit Kettleers, relieving Christian Little, who actually, with his 6 strikeouts, passed his spring collegiate high in just 5. It's a familiar face in Cameron Wagoner out of Eastern Michigan. He went 3 outings with the Wareham Gateman earlier this summer, 4 innings of work. He faced a total of 21 batters in a Gateman uniform before being cut by Wareham, picked up by Cotuit, and he's been a busy man. In the last 9 days, Cameron Wagoner has pitched 4 times. This is his 5th appearance for the Kettleers. 4 1/3 innings of work, 8 strikeouts to just 2 walks, a 12.46 ERA, but he knows these Wareham batters better than anyone because he was on the Gateman to open up the season.
A familiar face on the bump. Work against Hogan Windish. With a runner on at first, that's Ryan Campos. He drew a 1-out walk before the break. Windish tonight 0 for 1 with a walk of his own back in the first. It's righty on righty. Wagner first pitch. The Eastern Michigan right-hander misses up and in. Count 1-0. And Wagner, Cam, if my memory serves me correct, his last outing with the Gateman came against Cotuit. The 1-0. Up and in. Ball 2. It might have been Harwich. That's what it was. Harwich. White House Field.
That was to close out the game as well, if I'm not mistaken. He inherited a couple runners on, was able to close out for a win for the Gateman.
2-0 toss to Windish, up and in. It's ball 3.
Now he's trying to do the complete opposite and deliver a loss to the Gateman.
It's amazing how the tides can turn in the CCBL. Gateman also anticipated tomorrow to face against another former pitcher, Luke Beneke, the anticipated starter for Harwich. 3-0, called strike 1 on Windish. A late strike call after he'd already tossed the bat aside and was jogging up the first base line. Counts 3-1.
Now Wareham has drawn 5 walks after drawing 9 yesterday. It's a team known for their ability to stay patient at the plate, top half in the league in walks drawn, and that's why Wareham's been so successful. They capitalize.
Campos on it first with 1 away. Cotuit leading by 4. The 3-1 to Windish. Fastball, called strike 2 over the heart of the plate. Count goes full. Kettleers doubling their lead in the top half of this 5th frame. 2 runs off of Will Koger. Payoff pitch. Windish swings and misses. And his bat lets go out of his hands and all the way off the windows of Wareham Middle School. My goodness, no one was hurt, but that could have been bad.
Whoa, that bat flew. So earlier this season we saw Derek Fabian do the exact same thing, but his was blocked off by the dugout on the third base side and the fencing. That one went over the fencing, and you're right, hit the school.
Those windows were replaced long ago with unbreakable glass. The folks in Wareham finally smarted up after losing a few windows. With 2 away, the first pitch to Max Anderson's a called strike 1 on the outside edge. First strikeout tonight for Wagner, of course, and the first batter he faces. Campos on it first with 2 away. The 0-1 and the dirt count even at 1 apiece. Wagner comes set at the letters. The right-hander deals. 1-1 chased away. Fastball outside that Anderson couldn't connect. Strike two. One-two pitch, cut on and missed upstairs to end the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts from Cam and Wagner and the two batters he faced out of the Cotuit bullpen. We're through 5 in Wareham, and the Kettleers lead the Gateman 4-0. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball when we return to the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in environmental science, sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science. Online at curry.edu.
Catchers aren't the only ones protecting home. With Rogers Gray, you have more coastal homeowners insurance options and a true expertise in their people. Protect your home with Rogers Gray. Rogers Gray is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Learn more at rogersgray.com.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
Back for the top of the 6th. That's Spillane Field, Wareham, Massachusetts. Cade Crenshaw joined alongside Cameron Ezeir and Claire Foley with you tonight. Cam, Cotuit leads 4-0. But the Gateman offense has struggled mightily tonight. Through 5 innings of work, they've tallied just 1 hit.
And this is the Cotuit pitching staff over the last 5 games, giving up an average of 9 runs per game. Wareham's offense just hasn't been able to capitalize.
Koger first pitch to Ketchup. Fouled up the first base line on a check swing. Count 0-1. Caleb Ketchup, the shortstop out of Lipscomb, 0 for 2 tonight with a pair of strikeouts. First time, though, he faces Koger, as the Louisville right-hander came out of the pen to begin the 5th and gave up 2 runs to the Kettleers. The 0-1 called strike 2 on the upper outer corner. Oh-2 pitch upstairs. High at the eyes. It's ball 1.
Yeah, Will Koger working in a deficit, and it looks like it's impacting him today. He missed his location by a whole lot there.
1-2 dribbled over to Padilla on a couple hops. His throw to first in time. 1 away. Top 6. Sun beginning to set beyond the left field skies. Shade covering really from home plate over to third, most of left field. Sun shining down though everywhere else. 4 runs on 7 hits for Cotuit. No runs, just 1 base hit tonight for the Gateman. The 1-out pitch to Caleb Lomavita. Misses low, falls back to the fencing. Count 1-0.
You feel a little bit for Devin Burks behind the plate. He showed up a couple days ago. This is his first game, and he just hasn't gotten really the signs and the locations of these pitchers.
1-0 offering, rocket shot in the air to the corner of left field, but it will fall foul. It had home run distance, just not home run accuracy. Count even at 1 apiece. One pitch, called strike 2 in the top half.
the best pitch I've seen from Will Koger today. Picked out his location, delivered it the velocity he wanted.
Loma Vida at the dish. Base is empty and 1 out. The 1-2. Cut on and missed. 3 strikeouts today for Will Koger. That's 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, with the Cotuit still leading by 4.
That's the second best pitch I've seen him throw today. He has found his spots, and if Will Koger can keep attacking that outer part of the zone, well, success will follow.
Top of the order in Tommy Troy, a Stanford second baseman, 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and an RBI. Base is clear with 2 outs. The pitch. Fastball paints the outside edge. Count 0-1. Troy spent the 2021 CCBL season in the opposite dugout. He's no stranger to Spillane Field as a member of the Wareham Gateman last year. 0-1, called strike 2, outer corner. Koger really just painting the plate away from Troy, the right-handed hitter. Looking for his 4th strikeout through 2 innings is Koger. With 2 outs, trying to close out the frame. The 0-2 punch. Line drive into center. Diodati initially stepped up. Now he'll step back and make the catch to end the frame. 1-2-3. Down go the Kettleers. We go the bottom of the 6th. Cotuit still leads by 4 on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
With competitive pay, state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities in service, sales, accounting, HR, marketing, IT, and more, a job at Milton Cat, the Northeast Caterpillar dealer, is more than a career choice. It's a choice career. Visit miltoncat.com/careers to join their growing team.
Kettleers lead 4-0 over Wareham as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cameron Wagner back on the bump for Cotuit, pitched to 2 batters to end the 5th inning, struck out them both. Meanwhile, he'll bring up 4, 5, 6 in the Gateman order, led off by Owen Diodati. 0 for 1 today with a walk. Righty on lefty. Cam, this is Gateman offense to tally just 1 hit through 5 innings. What can they do to find the rhythm?
Well, the biggest thing is find the gaps. Get it on the ground. Don't try to force power. A lot of the times, the Gatemen are swinging for a deep shot to the outfield rather than trying to fight off a ball, whether it be opposite side or in a favorable direction on the ground in the infield. You watch how these infielders are playing. There's a mini shift on as they're shifted over to the right. If you're Diodati, locate up the middle.
0-1 offered. In the air, shallow center field. Park gives chase, but it'll drop for a leadoff base hit. Well, just as we say that, Owen Diodati gets the Gateman's 2nd hit of the night, first since the 2nd inning. It leads off the bottom of the 6th here tonight. One aboard for Kellum Clark. The Mississippi State Bulldog 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. Clark and Wagner, familiar with each other, spent some time together as teammates earlier this season with the Gatemen. Clark opposite field for a base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Gatemen, and they've not only doubled their hit total in this inning, they've tripled it. Runners at first and second. The tying run now steps into the on-deck circle. First throw at the plate is Blake Wright, Clemson Tiger. Wright 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Righty on righty with no outs and runners at first and second. Wagner deals. Off speed, cut on and missed for strike one. Wagner, 0-1, right, shows bunt, couldn't connect as he pulled back. First base umpire says he did pull back the bat just in time. Count even at 1 apiece. The Gateman with a runner in scoring position. The first time since the second inning. They had gone down in order in the third, fourth, and one reached in the fifth. Bunt up the first base side. Johnson turnaround throw. Troy covers first in time. One away as both runners take second and third. But now a throw over to third base that no one was ready for. Diodati comes home to score. And just like that, the Gateman played a run on an errant throw. The deficit trimmed down to Cotuit 4-1. Troy made the throw over to third base, but Wilkerson was nowhere even looking for the baseball. First error tonight attached to Troy, E4 on your scorecard. Now Clark stands at second base with one out for Jack Hausinger. 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out and a ground out. Righty on lefty. Wagner, first pitch. Low and inside is the fastball. 1-0 the count. The 1-0. Low and in. Catcher initially lost it. His throw down to third base won't be in time. Clark slides under a high throw. Great heads-up base running from Kellum Clark, and the Gateman can cut the deficit even more with a runner standing 90 feet from home. Hausinger an opportunity to pick up RBI number 6 this season. Infield drawn in with one out. The 2-0, Hausinger popped it up into center field. Just what he needed to do. Park trails it back. He's at the near the fence, makes the grab. Clark will sprint home, and it's a sac fly for Jack Hausinger. And the Gatemen have scored 2. They've cut the deficit in half. Cotuit now leads 4-2.
The Gatemen left 5 on base in the first 2 innings and only 1 on base in the next 3, mainly because the Cotuit pitching staff was so good in holding the Gatemen to 0-11 with a walk through 3 innings. That was a 3 through 5. And here in the 6th, hey, you get 2 on base, you score both. That's what's needed.
Here's Brian Padilla. First pitch from Wagner with one away and the base is empty. It's off the plate. Count 1-0. Padilla walked back in the second inning. He would ground out to end the 4th. Devin Burks in the on-deck circle. Wagner fires the 1-0 upstairs, is ball 2. Talking with Cotuit head coach Mike Roberts earlier tonight, he let us know that it might be a bullpen game. You're going to see a few different arms tonight. The 2-0 cut on from Padilla for strike 1. So essentially, Cam, when you're at a bullpen game, if the pitcher on the mound is struggling, you're not afraid to just go to the next guy. Roberts in his 18th season as the field manager for the Kettleers. The 2-1 offering. Called strike 2 on the outer edge. But Mike Roberts, no stranger to Spillane Field either.
1984 was the field manager for the Gatemen. 16 years later, in 2000, was also the field manager for Wareham. Took this team to a title game.
2-2 pitch. Upstairs is ball 3. He's been at Cotuit ever since, leading the Kettleers from Lowell Park. Three-two pitch, grounded over to catch up at second. He can't field it cleanly. It'll roll into center field. And on at first base goes Padilla. A 1-out error for Caleb Ketchup at short. Second error this frame by the Kettleers, and that'll be the end of it for Cam Wagoner. We stand in the bottom of the sixth. Brian Padilla on at first with 1 out. The Gatemen have scored 2, yet still trail by a pair. Cotuit leads 4-2. We'll be back from Wareham baseball when we return on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Each and every game here at Spillane Field is made possible by our sponsors. Let's take a moment to recognize Gateway Tavern, Coastal Orthodontics, Fairway Financial, Joanne Stevenson, Sullivan Wine and Spirits, Deb Levesque Massage Therapy, the Law Office of Mark Deshays, Office Technology Group, J&M Baseball Academy, South Coast Health, Minkle Boys Catering, 80 Makepeace, Reed Custom Soils, Soft as a Grape, Bay Motor Inn, Point Sign, Wareham, Sipicon and Dartmouth Week, Cranberry Self-Storage, Village Signs, the Law Office of Lang, Exaferris and Bullard, Reedy, Kiernan and McNally LLP, Robertson's GMC, Effie's Homemade, Wareham Country Market, the Wareham House of Pizza, Robbery's Tree Service, Patty Wild, Onset Bay Association, Select PT, El Mariachi, Water Whiz, and Cool Cone. Thank you once again to our sponsors of your Wareham Gateman.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu.
Well, the Gatemen finally threatening here in the sixth back at Spillane Field. New pitcher on the mound is the righty Ty Johnson, 6'6", 212, out of Indianapolis, Indiana, attends Ball State. This is outing number 6 on the Cape. He's went 13 in the third prior, 10 strikeouts, 7 walks. A guy with an 0-2 record, a 4.05 ERA. He's ventured as many as 5 innings into a game and as little as a third of an inning as he's coming in with only 1 away and now 1 on here in the sixth.
The Gatemen have played it 2, but still trail by just as much. 4-2, Cotuit leads. Here's Devin Burks with Brian Padilla on at first. Jacobson is the 4th arm of the ninth for the Kettleers. Righty on righty with 2 away. He'll fake a move over to first, but no throw is made. Pitch home. Fastball inner half, called strike 1 on Burks, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Got a single in his debut at bat with the Gatemen back in the 2nd inning. He would strike out swinging in the 5th. Padilla inching off first base. The 0-1. Called strike 2 in the upper outer corner. Jacobson now just 1 strike away from retiring the first batter he faces. Oh, 2. Upstairs. Ball 1. Padilla inches off of first base. With 2 away, Burks looks on. The 1-2 pitch incoming. Down in the dirt to even the count at 2 apiece. Two-two pitch. Lasered out of play. Count remains at 2 strikes. For Devin Burks in his debut game with the Gatemen out of Kentucky, a sophomore catcher. Hit .378 through 20 games with the Wildcats this past collegiate season. Once again, the 2-2 from Johnson. He steps off the mound to bring the runner back to first. No throw is made yet again. Two-two. Down in the dirt, count full. Johnson set at the letters. Time call by the hitter. Gateman trying to extend this 2-run frame. Payoff pitch. On the way. Called. Strike 3 on the outer half is the fastball. Ty Johnson comes into the ball game and strikes out the only batter he faces to end the inning. We're through 6. The Gateman brought across 2, highlighted by a sac fly from Jack Hausinger. Yet Cotuit still leads 4-2. We go to the top of the 7th. We return the Gateman Broadcast Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. Cape Cod to the major leagues. Only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This week's special celebration of Red Shirt Friday is sponsored by Ezeir Hats, Massachusetts State Lottery, and OT Sports. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Back for the top of the 7th inning. Cotuit's lead has been trimmed down in half. They lead 4-2 over the Wareham Gatemen as Wareham brought across 2 runs in the bottom half. Well, Koger back on the bump, and Cam, son, this is a brand new ball game because once you put a runner on base, tying runs now in the on-deck circle for the Gatemen.
Yeah, you got to realize that you're not too far away if you're the Gatemen, as much as you were down 4-0. Now Will Koger's job becomes all the more important, knowing that, hey, you keep Cotuit at goose eggs moving forward, and you have yourself one heck of an outing if your offense can pick up the pace.
Leading things off is Carter Trice, the designated hitter out of NC State. First pitch from Koger, down in the dirt for ball 1. One offering. Outside, ball 2. Two balls, no strikes, the 2-hole hitter. Trice 0 for 3 tonight with 3 strikeouts. 2-0 offering, called strike 1 on the outer edge. Sun just beginning to set. The 2-1 dealing to Trice. Cut on and miss. Count even at 2 apiece. Koger's fastball finding more and more command as his outing goes on. Two-two pitch. Sailing away. Count goes full. Cotuit trying to increase their lead in first place of the West Division. The Gatemen, meanwhile, trying to stay in the playoff picture as the fourth place team. Payoff pitching coming to Trice. Rocket shot in the air, right center field. That'll get down for a base hit and go for extra bases. To the wall it rolls. Rounding first, sprinting to second goes Trice. He'll hold up there with a leadoff double. Third double of the night. Connected on by the Kettleers. First by Trice. One aboard. Here's C.J. Kafis, the left fielder out of Miami. One of those other two doubles tonight for the Kettleers. Last time up in the fifth, he would come around to score a run. Runner at second, no outs. Koger, first pitch to the lefty. He shows bunt and pulls back. His pitch missed inside. Count 1-0. Showing bunt again, but dancing out of the way of the pitch inside is Kafis. Ball 2. The one thing Koger definitely doesn't want to do in this situation, Cam, just as the Gatemen cut into the deficit, you don't want to allow it to grow anymore. 2-0 to Kafis. Does he show bunt for the third straight pitch? Indeed he does, but lays it down foul.
To worry about a lot of things against the Cotuit Kettleers, but right now, Will Koger, it's more of a mind game than anything. It's been so good all season in 4 appearances, a sub-1 ERA. Just find that stride if you're Koger on the mound.
2-1 offering with a runner at second, no outs. Koger fires. Pitch up and in on Kafis. That's ball 3.
The
umpire called time. Believe that Kafis was trying to sell that it hit him. I don't think it did, but now did it miss, or is he saying it tipped it foul? And it's going to be a 2-2 count.
Wow, I thought at first the home plate umpire was giving Koger a bit of a warning, saying, hey, watch out there, throwing it a bit up and inside, but yeah, wow.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Kafis with runner at second. Koger fires. Liner out of play, high in the air, but foul territory of right field. Once again, the 2-2 offering to Kafis. Dancing around second is Trice. The pitch in the dirt. Count now full. Three balls, 2 strikes to Kafis, who's 1 for 3 tonight with a double back in the 5th. He looks to trade places with Trice, who stands at second base. Payoff pitching coming. Low and in, ball 4. A double and a walk to lead off the 7th inning for Cotuit.
Can't let this game stray too far. You got to get someone in the bullpen warming up, knowing that if Will Koger can't get out of the 7th, well, you garner some confidence in someone else's arm to not just pitch the rest of the 7th, but maybe the 8th and the 9th. You don't want to exhaust all your arms in this game.
Burks made his way out to the mound for a quick conversation before Tyler Johnson steps up. The last time he was at the plate did some damage, an RBI double back in the 5th, and that was off of Coker, who's now in his 3rd frame of action. He's yet to record an out, but now Harvey Shapiro walks out to the mound for the Gateman, and this could be it for Will Coger. Top of the 7th, runners at first and second for Cotuit, with the Kettleers leading 4-2. We'll take a short break and tell you about the new Gateman arm when we return for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Tom and Jean Yockey were passionate about the game of baseball. Over their 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yockeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics in our community. They recognized the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field: cooperation, respect, teamwork, friendships, and confidence. The Yockey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape League for more than 25 years.
Joanne Stevenson with Berkshire Hathaway and Robert Paul Properties brings over 21 years of real estate experience to the South Shore and Cape Cod area. The Robert Paul Properties team not only specializes in coastal luxury properties, but proudly serves our veterans in their home search or sell process. Joanne Stevenson is your local, homegrown agent who knows the area and knows the market. Call Joanne Stevenson with Robert Paul Properties for all your real estate needs. Located at 155 Front Street in Marion.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod Coca-Cola has been proudly refreshing the community for over 30 years, and we're honored to support the CCBL and many other wonderful organizations on the Cape.
Milton Cat is proud to support the Cape Cod Baseball League. From paving and landscaping to recreational boating and facility management, Milton Cat has the right equipment, parts, service, and technology to keep you working. Visit miltoncat.com to learn more.
Looking for your dream home on the Cape? Gibson Sotheby's International Realty's dedicated team of real estate professionals are ready to make your dream a reality. Don't just look for a place, discover a home. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Local craft beer, great food, games, outdoor beer garden, and live music. That's all at Stone Path Malt. Better malt, better beer. Conveniently located across from Wareham Crossing in the West Wareham Industrial Park. Check them out.
The law firm of Lang, Exifaris & Bullard, providing families and businesses in the greater New Bedford community with legal services for 40 years. We look forward to serving you. For an appointment, call 508-992-1270. We invite you to learn more about the law firm of Lang, Exifaris & Bullard by visiting our website, lxblaw.com.
Will Coger out of the ball game in the 7th after he gives up a double and a walk. So there's 2 on, no outs for the 4, 5, 6 spots in the order for the Kettleers to face the new pitcher on the mound for the Gateman, the glorified closer, you could say, in Michael Walsh out of Yale, the 6'2", 195-pound senior. Hard-throwing righty, has a fastball and a slider in his arsenal, more in his statistics this season. Now his 8th appearance on the Cape, 8 1/3 prior, has 2 saves to his name, 9 hits, 3 runs all earned, 17 Ks to only 4 walks, and a 3.24 ERA.
Walsh steps up and inherits runners at first and second, with Cotuit leading by a pair, and their cleanup hitter stepping up to the plate in Tyler Johnson. Righty on lefty. Johnson 1 for 3 tonight. Fastball slider mix from Walsh. Looks back to lead runner at second, fires home. First pitch fouled back. Count 0-1. Johnson out of Coastal Carolina, senior for the Chanticleers. Trice at second, Cafus at first. Walsh the 0-1. Bunt laid down foul.
It's a great sign for Michael Walsh, because now the bunt attempt is off the board for Tyler Johnson unless he really wants to risk it to try to move the runners over.
Trice doubled to lead off the inning, and Cafus drew a walk from Will Koger before the call to the pin was made for Walsh. 0-2 offering. Opposite field in the air, Hausinger gives chase from left. It's up and over his head, bouncing to the wall. Rounding third, coming home is Trice. Getting now to third, and held up there is Cafus. Into second goes Johnson, and the Kettleers have taken a 5-2 lead on an RBI double from Tyler Johnson, the second one from him tonight. Kettleers are back up by 3.
Cade, you don't want to be too critical about the decision to put Jack Hausinger on left, but he got a poor jump, took a step forward rather than drifting over to his left and a little back, and maybe that's a product of Jack Hausinger not being an everyday left fielder, but got a bad jump, which allowed Johnson to sky it over his head.
Runners at second, third, still no outs. Here's Calvin Harris, the right fielder out of Ole Miss. He's 2 for 2 tonight with a walk. Righty on lefty. Infield in. The pitch taken for strike 1. Walsh, the right-hander out of Yale. A 1 pitch in the air, left center. Diodati gives chase from center. Charging ahead, he makes the grab. He'll now hurl a throw home, but the runner will hold up. 1 away in the top of the 7th on the fly out from Harris.
Really smart from the third base coach and field manager Mike Roberts to slow down the fast approaching CJ Cafus, because he would have been thrown out by a mile. There might have even been a pickle opportunity between home and third. Fortunately for Cotuit, still 2 in scoring position with 1 away.
Runners at second, third, 1 away. It's Eddie Park, the center fielder out of Stanford, looking to drive in a few more runs and increase Cotuit's 3-run lead. First pitch is fouled off. Count 0-1. An elongated top of the 7th, that's for sure. Just the 5th batter of the frame, but count this inning stretching on over 10 minutes now. Be sure to stick around and don't go anywhere during the break. You'll hear from Claire Foley on the other side. The 0-1. Walsh sends a fastball across the lower half for strike 2. Oh, 2 called. Strike 3 inside corner. Slider sits down Park. The first strikeout of the afternoon for Michael Walsh, and it's the second out here in the top of the 7th.
A lot of jokes around Michael Walsh. No joke is his game. It might be the motto moving forward, but it's a player nicknamed Jimmer because of his basketball skills. Of course, after the NBA great Jimmer Fredette, you might say more of a college great, but hey, to each of their own. Also has a slider that his teammates call the Durr.
With 2 away, first pitch cut on by Wilkerson. Strike 1, and there it was. That was the Durr. Runners at second and third. Two away with 2 in scoring position for Wilkerson. Drove in a run back in the second. Cotuit leads by 3. 0-1 offering off the plate. Count even. Michael Walsh, a name to watch in this upcoming Sunday's MLB draft that begins. It'll span Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. 1-1 offering. Fastball misses low. That's ball 2. "20 rounds for the second straight year, right in the heart of Major League All-Star break. And that's changed so much, not just for the big leagues, but also for college baseball and especially in the summer leagues, because you don't have players sticking around as often. The 2-1 cut on upstairs. Strike 2 was a fastball up and in that Wilkerson couldn't connect. Count even at 2-2. So now where usually you would see draft guys not here at all because of how early the draft was held each year. Really when teams were still in Omaha in June, now they bumped it back to mid-July. Certain draft-eligible prospects still come to play summer ball. 2-2 calls, strike 3 outside corner. That was the Durr, and that ends the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts for Michael Walsh, but Cotuit does bring across another run. It's now 5-2. Kettleers will be back for the bottom of the 7th. We return on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Whether a night at the tap room for pub grub, dinner for the family, or a full-service catered event, Minkle Boys Catering. Food with passion. Book your event today.
Back at Spillane Field, before we begin the bottom of the 7th inning, where Cotuit leads Wareham 5-2, let's kick it down to the sidelines for our Claire Foley. Claire?
Thanks, guys. Now, I'm no Gateman guru like Cameron, but I heard a fun fact today that I think the folks at home would like. Now, in the whole history of the Cape League, there's only been one bat kid who went on to play in the major leagues, and that was Brian Roberts, who is the son of former Gateman manager and current Cotuit manager Mike Roberts. Now, Brian, he made his debut with the Baltimore Orioles and continued his career to play with the New York Yankees. He was a 2-time All-Star. In 2007, he was the AL leader in stolen bases, and he is in the Baltimore Orioles Hall of Fame. Guys.
Well, thanks, Claire, and of course, I'm a huge fan of trivia, Cameron, and Claire knows that as well. So I always love a good trivia fact or two that really, really just adds a little bit something extra to the game, right? You have the manager in the opposing dugout who spent some time here in Wareham, 16 years apart, 2 different stints as manager of the Gateman. And, of course, his son turned out to be a pretty good baseball player, you could say, a 2-time All-Star.
And I will say one thing about Brian Roberts. At age 4, he had open heart surgery. And, of course, whenever something that severe happens, not just to a person, but to a family, a lot of the times it will, bring sorrow, and you don't know what's to come. But Mike Roberts, he kept Brian around the game of baseball. And the fact that in 1984, Brian Roberts was able to be a bat boy at the age of 5, just a year after getting open heart surgery, is such a great story. Went on to have, like Claire said, an illustrious MLB career.
We begin the top of the order on that note, an incredible note to begin it on, by the way. Here's Ryan Campos. First pitch off the plate, count 1-0. Campos tonight 0 for 2 with a walk. But I tell you, over at Cotuit, there at Lowell Park, they love Mike Roberts. He has been a staple of that franchise now almost 2 decades. The 1-0 offering. Fastball finds the inner half to even the count. And Mike Roberts really has become one of those folks that have cemented themselves and their legacy in the CCBL.
Over 400 wins, 3 titles with the Cotuit Kettleers, 3 of 17 in the organization history. He is a mainstay, or as much of a staple as you can get in terms of an organization and how well they treat their manager and how well he treats the fans.
What's amazing is, we're in an era, I should say, of the CCBL where so much of its history is still on display with the managers of these teams. Of course, Scott Pickler over at Yarmouth Dennis, 2-1 dives inside, ball 3 on Campos. Pickler, the all-time wins leader among Cape League managers, approaching 550 now. He was at 548 when Whitey was here last week. Might have been even eclipsed that at this point, but of course, then you have Jeff Trundy there in Falmouth. He's over 500 wins. Not to mention, you just look around the league, and here especially in these two dugouts. You have Harvey Shapiro, over 500 career wins. He ranks in the top 3 all time. Then the opposite dugout, Mike Roberts, like you said, over 400 career wins. There's a lot of history still here in the Cape League. And, of course, in years to come when these managers do decide to step away from the game and finally enjoy the retired life, if you will, there's going to be a lot of new faces in this league. 3-2 pitch, grounded foul by Campos off his own body. We'll see it again.
Second straight off the foot of Ryan Campos, and you're right. I think a lot of the times we might take for granted the fact that the managers are just as accomplished as a lot of these players, right? You talk about the Cape League, and you can't talk about it without mentioning the best collegiate athletes. When you talk about these managers, yeah, they might not be at the highest level of the collegiate game, but to be at the highest level in one of the best summer leagues, if not the best summer league, it's incredible.
Campos gets things underway in the bottom of the 7th. 3 balls, 2 strikes, count full to the leadoff hitter for the Gateman. Pitch fouled up in the air. Giving chase is the catcher. He's at the fencing, and it'll drop just on the roof of the press box. Count remains full. Ty Johnson working through a full count battle here with Campos. The Ball State right-hander. Once again, payoff pitch. Grounded over to first base, but Johnson's there. He'll step on the bag himself. 1 away, bottom 7.
Now batting first baseman from North Carolina Greensboro, number 18.
1 away, and the base is empty for Hogan Windish, who's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. Gateman wrapping up a 2-game homestand tonight. Back on the road tomorrow with a much later start time. We start at 5 p.m. tonight. We're at 6:30. First pitch tomorrow at Harwich. Catch that game once again here on the Gateman Broadcast Network. A little bit of a later start. Usually Cape League games around 6, but tomorrow 6:30 at Harwich. 0-1 offering to Windish. Rocked in the air, but shallow left field. Kafis charges, but it'll be the shortstop catch-up to back up and bring it in for the second out.
Yeah, well, Ketchup relished in the opportunity to make that grab, and now there's 2 down in the 7th. This Gateman team has to find a little bit of life in the 7th because you do not want to enter the 8th and the 9th hoping for the bats to get hot against a Cotuit pitching staff that has really revitalized itself in this game.
Here's Max Anderson. Johnson's first pitch. Off speed, dives into the zone, top half, count 0-1. And this is a Kettleer team, Cam, that had really been through the ringer as of late. Hadn't won a game in 11 days. They're just 1-6-3 in their last 10. 0-1 pitch, cut on and miss from Anderson for strike 2.
The best way to describe it, if you check out the statistics surrounding this pitching staff for the Kettleers, the top 8 ERAs on this staff, all gone.
Wow. And this is a Kettleer team that has seen a ton of faces this season. Anderson down the line into right field, but foul. He'll return to an 0-2 count. A ton of different faces for this Cotuit squad. I mean, this is a team that started out 9-0 for the year. That's the 4th best start in Cape League history before finally losing a game. But so many of those players are now gone because they're getting ready for the MLB draft. Players like Chandler Simpson, Victor Scott, Ryan Ritter. 0-2 in the air, right field once again. This one will stay fair. Harris ranges back, and he'll make the grab to end the frame. The Gatemen go down in order, and we go to the top of the 8th. Kettleers still leading 5-2 on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Cape Destinations, Sullivan Tire, Highline Cruises, Barnstable Bats, Sunderland Printing, Axis Bats, Cape Space, Christmas Tree Shops, UFOs, T-Mobile, Boston Better Business Bureau, Fairway Financial, Rogers Gray, And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
After the game, visit El Mariachi on Main Street for the best Mexican food in Wareham. The cantina provides a delicious late-night snack accompanied by fun cocktails.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We offer over 400 different beverage choices on Cape Cod to quench every thirst, and more than 150 of those are low or no-calorie options.
Back for the top of the 8th inning. Cotuit on top of Wareham, 5-2 this evening. 5 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors for the Kettleers, 2 runs on just 3 hits for the Gateman Cam tonight. Simply put, the offense just hasn't been there for Wareham.
Which is shocking because in this last 9-game stretch in which the Gatemen have only lost 1 of those games, they've tied 3 and won 5, the offense has been there. There was a statistic in the first 5 games of July in which the Gatemen were batting over 270, which ranked the first on the Cape, and to think that this team just consistency just seems to lack, and they kind of stoop to a level in which, you know, they don't meet expectations.
You look back just last night, 5 runs in 5 innings, because Wareham didn't play the bottom of the 6th. And that tie game ended due to issues with the lights, and they've turned on the lights. Let's make this a point. The lights have been turned on here at Spillane, but it's not going to matter. They're not playing by the lights. Once the sun sets enough for the umpire to say it's now a safety issue, the game will end. Now, we're in the top of the 8th. This game is going to be completed through 9. But it's interesting to see, Cam, as Ketchup fouls back the pitch, count 1-2. The light's still having some of those issues. So it'll be interesting to see the maintenance that's done to this field in the coming days. The Gatemen are on the road tomorrow, so definitely Wareham want to get those issues fixed and get back to 6 o'clock first pitches versus 5 p.m.s. 1-1, fouled away. As Ketchup stays alive on 2 strikes. Shortstop out of Lipscomb. Located right there outside of Nashville. 0 for 3 tonight with a pair of strikeouts. 1-2. Low and inside. Calls. Strike 3. Michael Walsh, his 3rd strikeout in a row, dating back to the 7th. That's 1 away in the top of the 8th.
Ooh, what a nasty pitch from Michael Walsh. And that strikeout number 20 on the season. You're right, 3 straight, and they've all been on that slider. When he can locate it, a lot of the times it's unhittable because the ball's heading in your direction and then tails in.
The Durr. The 1-out pitch to Loma Vita. Called strike 1 in the lower half. I don't think I've ever liked a nickname for a pitch better than the Durr. Right? Simple as can be. You just knock off the first 3 letters in slider, and you're left with Durr. The 0-1, up and in. Count even. Now, when I think of Durr, I don't know if you were a big Nickelodeon fan growing up, right? I was mostly an ESPN kid, but I had younger sisters. And there was a show called iCarly at the time, right? Miranda Cosgrove, pretty popular. The 1-1. Loma Vita fouls it back to the fencing. Well, there was one episode where this kid that Carly was tutoring played a practical joke on him, I think it was. So she wanted to make sure she got her revenge. And she was tutoring him for an upcoming math test. And she convinced him there was a made-up number that came between 7 and 8 called Durr. The 1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed. The Durr does it again. 4 straight strikeouts for Michael Walsh. 2 away in the top of the 8th. So needless to say, the kid studies the number Durr between 7 and 8, goes and bombs the math test. And they all live in the same apartment building. And this was a kid who just tormented Carly and her brother with all these practical pranks. Well, luckily enough, his dad came through and said, listen, we've got to get this math stuff on track, and sends him to a math camp for the summer. So they got him out of the building. So it all worked out because of the Durr.
That was just a flashback to the past.
Right?
Because now I remember it.
All about the Durr. A 2-out pitch, the top of the order in Tommy Troy. Fastball low and in. Count 1-0. Troy tonight 0 for 3 with a walk and an RBI. 1-0 offering. Grounder over to Anderson at third base. The throw across, going to be close. Windish came off the bag to make the grab. Safe is Tommy Troy. Have to wait and see whether that is a hit or it indeed is a throwing error on Max Anderson, the first committed by the Gateman tonight.
Usually so sure-handed over at third, and he was on that pickup, but it's the second time where it's drawn Hogan Windish off the first base bag.
One aboard with two away. Here's Carter Trice, the designated hitter out of NC State. 1 for 4 tonight with a double in the seventh. Cut on missed for strike one. Troy on at first. 0-1 offering. Lower half called. Strike two is the fastball.
Just an update, our official score going with hit over error after giving a second look at it.
Righty on righty, the 0-1 offering. Popped him up. Infield skies. Anderson from third base will call it. Onto the infield grassy steps, and that will be the inning. We go to the bottom of the eighth as Michael Walsh picks up his third and fourth strikeout. Cotuit still leads 5-2 over the Gateman. We'll return for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Mark Deshays has been practicing law in southeastern Massachusetts for over 30 years. His primary focus is on all aspects of real estate law, including residential and commercial real estate transactions, commercial leasing, land development, land use and zoning law, and land conservation matters. If you need representation, call now at 508-993-2300.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League, offering residential sales and vacation rentals across the Cape. We help you turn someday into right now. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Serving southeastern Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Office Technology Group has been the area's source for advanced digital multifunctional copiers since 2009. Call Office Technology Group at 508-858-5825.
Summer is here, and we are finally back to enjoying all our favorite outdoor activities. As temperatures rise, so does the risk for unexpected injuries. South Coast Health Urgent Care Centers are open, safe, and here to provide the care you need when you need it. Our 7 locations are open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Walk-ins are welcome, and having a South Coast Health physician is not required. Visit southcoast.org/urgent care to check wait times and reserve your spot today.
New pitcher on in the 8th inning in the bottom of the 8th. It's Cam Schulke for this Cotuit Kettleers team. Cam Schulke out of Northwood University. That's in Michigan. And Schulke there in his past season, they just wrapped up his redshirt freshman year. Hey, played okay for this Northwood University team in 19 appearances, 4 starts, so mainly known as the bullpen arm. 59 2/3 innings of work, sub-5 ERA, had 59 Ks to 36 walks. So maybe the one gripe on Schulke's game, the righty out of Northwood University, is how many times he walks batters. This is his first appearance for the Cotuit Kettleers this summer.
And Cam Schulke's a player, Cam, that had a great summer last summer over in the Northwoods League with the Traverse City Pit Spitters. Had a phenomenal year, was an all-star at the end of the season. But now he inherits the base is empty to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. It'll be Diodati, Clark, and Blake Wright do it, but now the umpires are conversing with Harvey Shapiro and Mike Roberts. This could be about ending the game early.
Yeah, Cam Schulke out of now Central Florida, as he's transferring there, might not even get to throw a pitch. Now there is a little bit of sun in deep right field, but it's sparse, mostly shadows elsewhere. And in a 5-2 ball game in the bottom of the 8th, I wouldn't blame the umpires for calling this one, knowing that the Gateman would only have 2 innings down by 3. But I think they're going to continue. Yeah, you play through the 8th, I think is what the home plate umpire Michael Finn is going to say. Of course, we'll get the official word on that, but if they're having a meeting in the bottom of the 8th, you would expect that this is the final inning.
Well, it'll be Diodati to get things underway. And I mentioned about Cam Schulke with the Traverse City Pit Spitters last year. Originally started out a Florida Gulf Coast kid, and he goes to Northwood, the JUCO route, bouncing back to D1 in the fall. 17 games, 65 innings pitched. He totaled 52 strikeouts with a 1.24 ERA. Was incredible last summer in the great city of Traverse City, Michigan, at Turtle Creek Stadium. A beautiful spot, turf field. The 1-0 called inside. Count even at 1 apiece.
We should also point out the throwing motion of Cam Schulke.
We all live in a yellow submarine. The 1-1. Liner out of play. And he's a guy who switches it up as well. I should have thrown that in there.
I looked for a second, thought I was going crazy
Yes.
after he went the submarine.
When he deals a breaking ball, it's a submarine. When it's a fastball or something else, it's over the top. There it is. Grounder over to short. Catch-up charges. His throw across. Pulls Johnson off the bag, and he can't make the grab. And now we see an interference call. The umpire has to say something. The first baseman, Johnson, just rode on the back of Diodati down the line. And Diodati will get to second on the interference. My, oh, my.
So a throwing error that allowed Diodati to head over to first, and you're right, a piggyback ride allows Diodati to head to second. And, hey, now I have to eat my words, because in a 5-2 ball game, the Gatemen have only scratched across 3 hits. And with the lights and the sunshine slowly fading, hey, you wonder, this might be the Gateman's last frame, and this is a perfect way to start it.
Here's Kellum Clark with a runner at second base and Diodati. An error and interference put him there. How about that? First pitch to Clark, low and ends, ball 1.
So I remembered the name Cam Schulke because coming into this summer, he was actually supposed to be on the Wareham Gateman, released before the season started, and then picked up by Cotuit.
1-0 offering, submarine pitch, catches the outer half to even the count at 1 apiece. Now, interesting for Schulke. Let's pull the curtain back a little bit. In the break, we're looking for the new pitcher on the mound. Let's get his information. Let's get his name. We're getting ready to go. Oh, he's number 31. Look down at our roster. There is no 31. He's listed as 41. So I sprint over in the commercial break to talk to Tim Crowley and Jake Starr, broadcasters from Cotuit. And I simply said to them, guys, who is this player? We don't know who it is. Tim simply said, we don't know either. Right? Is making his debut, and he's not on the roster wearing the correct jersey. So then they figured it out. They spoke to the coach down there and let me know, Schulke. Okay, great. So a little bit of a jersey mix-up. We got it underway.
You got your steps in as well.
I got my steps in, burned a few calories, and broke a sweat, all in the meantime of figuring out that's Cam Schulke. Diodati standing at second base. 3-1 pitch, up and in. It's ball 4.
Here comes Mike Roberts to talk it over with Schulke, and there is an arm up in the bullpen. I don't think this will be the day for Schulke because the pitcher in the bullpen out there in deep left was just getting warm near the foul pole. This might just be a tactic to talk it over with Schulke and maybe push this game a bit longer because, like we said, we're at the mercy of whether the sky darkens rather than the lights, because started at 5 for a reason. We had a lighting issue yesterday. The lights aren't going to play a factor today with multiple bulbs out, and Mike Roberts could just be using this as a tactic.
There's a runner standing at first and second base for Blake Wright. Schulke will remain in this game, with Wright stepping up 0 for 2 tonight with a sacrifice bunt last time we saw him in the 6th. But suddenly, Blake Wright's walking back over to the dugout. Could we see a pinch hitter? Indeed we will. It'll be Alan Roden coming up. Alan Roden stepping up for the Gateman as a pinch hitter. In this moment, the bottom of the 8th inning, the runners at first and second. Roden last night 0 for 1, but he drew a pair of walks on the season, a .241 hitter through 17 games. Roden 0 for 1 this season, though, as a pinch hitter. He's got Diodati at second, Clark at first. Roden is the tying run at the plate. Four home runs this spring at Creighton, none so far with the Gateman. First pitch, low and in, and it hits him. Load him up with no outs. Off the foot of Alan Roden. And the tying run's on the base pass for Jack Hausinger.
Now, I want to be right in my assessment because I'm fairly sure that the 8th time Alan Roden has been hit this summer. That leads the team. A reminder, he showed up halfway through this first part of the season.
He has worn them like badges. Bases loaded for Hausinger. 0 for 1 tonight with a sac fly RBI. First pitch is a strike in the lower half of the zone. Count 0-1. Diodati at third, Clark at second. Roden newly joining them on the base pass at first. 0-1 pitch. Hausinger on the ground towards second. Troy couldn't field it cleanly initially. He'll make the throw in time for first for 1. Diodati comes home to score on the RBI ground out from Jack Hausinger. Make it 5-3. Cotuit, the Gateman trailing by just 2.
And 2 ribbies for Jack Hausinger, and he's now replicated the line of Hogan Windish yesterday, in which he hasn't had a base hit but has 2 RBIs.
The tying run stands at second base in Alan Roden. Clark in front of him at third for Padilla at the plate. The Yukon Husky 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. A base hit could tie this game up in the bottom of the 8th inning with time running out on our daylight. Two aboard, 1 away, the pitch to Padilla. Off speed, misses inside, count 1-0. Schulke set at the letters. 1-0 offering. Fouled away opposite side to first base. Out of play. Count even at 1-1. 5 runs on 10 hits with 3 errors tonight for Cotuit. 3 runs on 3 hits. A clean defensive game for the Gateman. 1-1. Padilla fouls it off yet again for strike 2. Derek Fabian in the on-deck circle as a pinch hitter. The 1-2 to Padilla. Grounder over to third base side. Catch-up charges from short. His throw across to first in time, but another run comes home to score. Back-to-back RBI ground outs from Hausinger and Padilla brings the Gateman within a run. 5-4, Cotuit leads with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Alan Roden, the tying run at third base. Here's Derek Fabian, pinch hitting for the Florida Gators. A big spot right here for Fabian. 3 RBIs this season. Number 4 could not be any bigger. second pinch hitter used this frame by Coach Shapiro. The first was Roden, who was hit by a ball, and he's now at third base as the tying run. It all could come down to this. Fabian at the plate with 2 outs, the tying run 90 feet from home. First pitch. Called strike 1 in the lower half on the fastball.
Derek Fabian's been in big spots before. He tied the game in Falmouth a couple weeks ago. He tied the game in Falmouth a week ago as well. This is huge.
0-1 offering. Up and out. Count even at 1 apiece. There were discussions before this half inning began of when does this game end? Because it will end once the sunlight does not give enough vision for the players on the diamond any longer. Could be a safety problem. So this could be it. The 1-1 offering. Fabian grounder over to short. Catch up on a few hops. His throw across the diamond in time. Great pick out by Johnson. And the Gateman will strand the runner at third. We're through 8. Cotuit leads 5-4. We'll go to the top of the 9th, it looks like, with the Kettleers leading by a run. We'll be back for more Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all of the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reedy, Kiernan, and McNally, LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham and 2318 Acushnet Avenue in New Bedford. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website www.rkm-law.com.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 50 years of winning and 50 more.
Gibson Sotheby's International Realty is a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. List your home with Eastern Massachusetts' premier real estate firm. Don't just get it on the market, get it the attention it deserves. Each office is independently owned and operated. Sotheby's International Realty is a registered trademark.
Want your daily dose of news? Lucky for you, Wareham, Sipicon, and now Dartmouth Week has you covered. Whether you live in Wareham or in the surrounding areas, you can count on up-to-date news on sports, schools, and even the fine arts, courtesy of the partnership between Wareham, Sipicon, and Dartmouth Week. Head to theweektoday.com and search Wareham, Sipicon, or Dartmouth for more.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. Cotuit had their lead trimmed down to a single run as the Gateman brought across 2 in the bottom half of the 8th. RBI groundouts from Hausinger and Padilla to draw the Gateman within 1. We go to the top of the 9th. First pitch taken for a called strike 1 on Cafus. Few defensive changes to bring you for Wareham because of a pair of pinch hitters in that last frame. More on that in a moment. The 0-1 to Cafus. Fouled off into the fencing for strike 2. Freshly in the game at first base is Allen Roden. Going from first to left is Hogan Windish. Going from left to second base is Jack Hausinger. And going from second to short is Brian Padilla. Righty on lefty, the 0-2 pitch from Walsh. Cut on and missed. Fastball went by him. That's the first out in the top of the 9th, and the 5th strikeout tonight for Michael Walsh.
Now batting
huge opportunity for Cotuit to try and tack on one more insurance run. They desperately need a win. They haven't won a game in 11 days. One more defensive change bring you almost forgot about. Peter Burns is now catching. One out toss to Tyler Johnson's off the dish. Count 1-0. Late inning dramatics between these two. 1-0 offering to Johnson. Fouled off the mask of Burns to even the count at 1 apiece. Johnson's come up in a big way tonight, and he's really been the difference maker for the Kettleers. 2 for 4 evening for him with a pair of RBI doubles. Righty on lefty in the 1-1. Broken bat, foul ball. The bat nearly clipped Walsh on the mound, but everyone got out of the way of it as the ball found the seats. And all that's left in the hand of Tyler Johnson is the knob.
That's a giveaway. A souvenir for a fan, maybe.
Don't want any splinters.
That's true.
So Johnson will get a new piece of lumber. Calvin Harris in the on-deck circle for Cotuit. Gateman trying to get back on the winning side of things. They tied with Chatham yesterday after 6 or 5.5 innings, I should say. They played until the middle of the 6th. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Johnson. One-two pitch off the plate. Count even at 2 apiece. Walsh looking for a 6th strikeout tonight. 2-2 punch. Cut on and missed, and he found it right there. With a fastball in the outer half, Johnson is retired. That's 2 down the top of the 9th.
Welcome to the groove of Michael Walsh. You'll be checking it out when the draft rolls around in just a week's time. That's, you mentioned it, 6 Ks for Michael Walsh, and that ties a season high that he set against Brewster back on June 17th. So you fast forward a month, and Michael Walsh is still dirty on the mound.
Here's Calvin Harris, the right fielder from Ole Miss. 2 for 3 tonight with a walk. First pitch, he can't connect on. Strike 1. Harris, a pair of base hits in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Walked in the 5th inning before flying out straightaway center in the 7th. 0-1 offering, foul back to the fencing for strike 2.
I don't want to keep stressing this, but the sunset is for 8:17, which is in 14 minutes. Now, if Michael Walsh can work a quick 1-2-3, which he's already done through 2 batters, that could be pivotal.
0-2 pitch. Up and out, ball 1.
And the reason we're talking about that is because all the bulbs aren't working, the light fixtures here at Spillane Field, so we play until the sun says don't play anymore.
Walsh, the 1-2. Low and in, nearly clips Harris, even the count at 2-2. The Gateman will have the top of the order due up on the other side. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, count now full. Walsh looking to retire the Kettleers in order. Payoff. Outside, ball 4. Calvin Harris reaches for the 4th time tonight. 2nd walk he's drawn. First free pass issued by Walsh. And that'll bring up Eddie Park, the center fielder from Stanford. The Gatemen want to have a chance to play the bottom of the 9th when trailing by just a run. They're going to have to conclude this inning quickly if they want a chance before sunlights run out. 2-out pitch. Park watches strike 1 come across the outer half on the fastball. Oh, 1 offering. Grounder over to the left side. Padilla can't make the sliding stop. It rolls into left. And a 2-out base hit for Eddie Park continues the inning and puts runners at 1st and 2nd for Cotuit. That'll bring up Wilkerson. Drove in a run back in the second inning. He's gone 0 for 3 since. But Cotuit in dire need of an insurance run. This is a Gateman team that really found their groove in the bottom half. Brought 2 runs across after loading the bases without a hit. An error, a walk, and a hit batter turned the vacancy sign off. And then Hausinger and Padilla would ground out to drive in the 2 runs. 2 out toss from Walsh. Slider on the outer half, called strike 1. Walsh peering in towards home. Fouled away is the 0-1 pitch. Now strike 2 on Wilkerson. Grounded over to Anderson at third. His throw across the diamond in time to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's a 5-4 Cotuit lead. Can the Gatemen come back to tie it? We'll find out when we return from Wareham baseball on the Gateman Broadcast Network.
What's up, Gateman fans? Looking for Wareham jerseys, shirts, and hats? You can find all of that and more online at gateman.org/shop. Visit to get all your Gateman gear today.
Hey Gateman fans, don't miss out as the Wareham Gatemen head to Worcester, Mass. to take on the Bourne Braves at Polar Park, the home of the Worcester Red Sox. This special game at Polar Park takes place Monday, July 25th with a 6:45 first pitch. Tickets start at just $10, so head to gateman.org to get yours today.
One of the Gatemen's favorite places for their post-game meals is Cool Cone, where you can get anything from fried clams and fried chicken to an ice cream sundae, and then top it all off with a round of mini golf. Cool Cone, located on Route 6 on the Wareham-Marion line.
We're back for the bottom of the ninth. The Gatemen trail by a run. But in order for the comeback to count if they tie it, the inning has to be completed. Keep that in mind. We're racing against the sun here tonight. And through all of mankind, the sun has always won. First pitch to Campos. Off the plate, ball 1. It'll be Ryan Campos, Hogan Windish, and Max Anderson due up top of the order to just score 1 run. Avoid the loss. The 1-0. Low and in from Schulke, and that's ball 2.
Also, just to add one more thing, Mike Roberts has only 1 more mound visit, too.
Need to score and score quickly. The 2-0. Called strike 1 on the outer edge from the Submariner Schulke. Campos tonight, 0 for 3 with a walk. That was back in the 5th inning. Last time we saw him was a ground out to first in the 7th. 2-1 pitch, grounded foul off his own foot for strike 2.
The 3rd time Ryan Campos has grounded a ball off his foot.
Two runs scored by Cotuit in the 2nd inning, and later in the 5th take a 4-0 lead. The game will respond with a pair of their own, the bottom of the 6th, to cut the deficit in half. Meanwhile, in the top of the 7th, Cotuit will quickly respond. A 5-2 lead before the bottom of the 8th. Moments ago, where the Gatemen have drawn within a run, and that's where our score stands. Cotuit 5, Wareham 4. No outs, bottom of the 9th. The 2-2 to Campos. Grounded foul yet again as he stays alive on 2 strikes. Righty on lefty. Defensively, the Kettleers are set standard. No outs, bottom of the ninth, the base is empty. Once again, the 2-2. Grounded foul up the first base line. We'll see it again. Our home plate umpire, Michael Finn, will walk around to clean off home plate. Just a little bit of sunlight is left here tonight in Wareham. Claps coming from the Kettleers, the 2-2. Low and away. Count now full. Now the claps go to the opposite side of the field for Wareham. Full count to Campos. He is the tying run. 2 home runs this season. Payoff pitch. Up in the air, shallow center field. It drops for a base hit. The leadoff man is aboard for the Gateman. Ryan Campos, a single into shallow center.
Can't say it enough about how clutch Ryan Campos is. He's come into really, really tough situations, and it seems like every single point he forces a full count and he delivers.
With a tying run at first base, here's Hogan Windish. 0 for 3 tonight with a walk, but this is the batter who co-leads the CCBL with 19 RBIs this season. Also 3 home runs to his credit. He's the game-winning run. First pitch. He shows bunt, but can't put it down foul territory. Off the first base side of a roll. Count 0-1. Well, that's a new one. We haven't seen Windish try to aim for a bunt all season.
Strategy. Here in the ninth, you move the runner over, get him in scoring position for one of the best hitters on this team in Max Anderson. I like the idea, but maybe Hogan Windish isn't the right culprit to take this bunt.
An experienced player who can do it all. Why not let him bunt too? Righty on righty. Schulke peering in. The third baseman, Wilkerson's now on the grass. With Campos on at first, the 0-1. Windish showed bunt again, but pulled back as Schulke missed low and inside. Count even at 1-1.
The scheduled sunset 4 minutes away.
Oh boy. Schulke looks over the runner at first, now comes set the letters. Windish already showing bunt. The 1-1 pitch. Off his bat into foul territory yet again. That's strike 2. No more bunts for him. Campos inching off first base as the game's tying run. The 1-2 pitch to Windish. Just outside. Count even at 2-2. Cotuit manager Mike Roberts didn't like the call.
Also, Cade, one other thing to mention, a defensive change with Tommy Troy going over to short and Trotter Harlan now playing second.
Thank you, Cam. No outs. Bottom of the ninth, down by a run. 2-2. Windish fouls it off to stay alive. The Gatemen have tried to claw their way back into this game all night long. They erased a 4-0 deficit early in the 6th by scoring 2 runs. And then they cut away at a 5-2 deficit in the bottom of the 8th by scoring another 2. Here we are, 5-4. Cotuit leads in the bottom of the 9th inning. A pickoff throw to first. Campos, the lone runner on base. He's the game's tying runs back in time. Once again, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Windish. Schulke set the pitch. Up and out. It's ball 3. Count runs full. Max Anderson in the on-deck circle for the Gateman. Do the Gatemen have a comeback in their bones? 3 balls, 2 strikes, the count on Windish. Here's the payoff pitch. Grounded off foul from Windish. The catcher, Lomavita, will throw over to first, but the umpire immediately ruled that it was foul. Off the plate and then off the leg of Windish. Count remains full. Bottom of the ninth inning, Campos on at first. He reached on a leadoff single moments ago. A little blooper shot to shallow center. Gateman down by a run. Windish at the plate. The 3-2 pitch. Liner, base hit into left field. Campos jogs over to second. He's in scoring position. Now the left fielder botches it. It goes behind Cafus. Campos is rounding third. He's held up there, and runners are on the corners for the Gateman in the bottom of the ninth inning. A base hit for Hogan Windish. An error in left field. Oh, buddy, are we in for a treat to end this one tonight?
Here we go. Mike Roberts utilizes his last mound visit, and there is a player warming up in the bullpen with 2 in scoring position and no outs in the ninth. And a reminder, the sun is setting at this moment.
A big-time spot. We're in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Gatemen are down by just a single run with still no outs. The tying run is Ryan Campos at third base. And suddenly, the game's winning run is Hogan Windish at second, with Max Anderson coming up to the plate. Roberts out on the mound talking with his team. Umpires are out there. And then Roberts will conclude the meeting. So we're about to get back to baseball. Max Anderson tonight, 0 for 4.
Now batting the third baseman from Nebraska, number 15, Max Anderson.
Anderson came in tonight a .282 hitter. 1 home run this season. That was back against the same Kettleers team in late June. The tying run at third, the game-winning run at second. Infield in, the pitch to Anderson. Popped in the air, shallow right field. Backing up is Troy. He'll make the grab. Runners can't tag up. 1 away.
Now batting the center fielder from Oregon, number 14, Owen Diodati.
And suddenly, the Gatemen have 1 out against them, with Owen Diodati stepping up.
Oddly,
go ahead, Cam.
I was just going to say, oddly enough, that's probably the best case scenario. You get the out of the way now, just in case the sun does set.
Runners at second and third. Schulke's pitch to Diodati, fouled off back towards the Gateman dugout. Count 0-1. Righty on left. Diodati tonight, 1 for 3 with a walk. The 0-1 pitch, called strike 2 on the outer edge, and Diodati didn't like it, shaking his head out of the box. Gateman down by a run with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth inning. Campos at third. He'll tie things up. Windish could win it at second. The 0-2 pitch. Diodati fouls it off. He remains at 2 strikes. Schulke set. The 0-2 to Diodati. Grounded up the first baseline foul. The runners remain, of course, at second and third base. Owen Diodati was an all-star last year for Wareham with 7 homers. This season, he's back for a second time around, and he has 1 home run with the Gatemen in 2022. The 0-2 comes up and hits it. Load him up with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth. The bases are full, but really it doesn't matter outside of runners at second and third base. Campos at third is the tying run. The winning run is Windish at second for Kellum Clark, the Mississippi State right fielder. 1 for 2 tonight with a pair of walks. A big spot for Clark, the lefty hitter. Six runs batted in for Clark this season. The 1 out pitch from Schulke. Called strike 1 on the outer edge.
Bases loaded, down by 1 in the bottom of the 9th. 0-1 offering to Clark. Connected on but out of play. Foul ball to the third base side for strike 2. Corner infielders on the grass. Bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. The 0-2 to Clark. Grounded foul back into the Kettleers dugout on the third base side. We'll see it again. The tensions continue to build here at Spillane Field tonight. Schulke in his debut appearance for the Kettleers trying to ice out this victory in the bottom of the 9th inning. Cotuit looking to win their first game in 11 days. The 0-2 pitch to Clark. Popped up on the infield. Ranging back is Tommy Troy from short and just behind the second base bag. He makes the catch. That's out number 2.
Now batting the first baseman from Creighton, number 30, Allen.
It'll all come down to Allen Roden. Bases are loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Roden pinch hit in the 8th, and he was hit by the pitch. Righty on lefty. Campos at third, Winders at second, Diodati on at first. 2 down, the Gateman down by a run. First pitch. Roden grounder over the middle. Harlan picks it up, throws a second in time for the final out. Your final score, Cotuit 5, Wareham 4, and the Gatemen leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th inning. With just 1 out, they could not bring a run home. Infield pop-up and a ground out. Your final lines across the board. Cotuit, 5 runs on 11 hits with 4 errors. The Gatemen, 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors. A tough, tough loss here tonight to end this game. My, oh my, oh my. The Gatemen had their opportunity, leaving the bases loaded back in the first inning and couldn't bring home a run. But they clawed their way back from there, erasing a 4-0 deficit in the 6th by scoring a pair of runs, and then erasing a 5-2 deficit later in the 8th by scoring 2 more. So it took 5-4 into the bottom of the 9th, and the bases would be loaded. Tying run stood 90 feet from home with just 1 out, but the Gatemen could not bring it across the plate, and that's what mattered most. The Gatemen fall this evening. That's now 11-13-4 on the year for Wareham. Meanwhile, Cotuit improves to 15-8-5 on the 2022 season. Well, that'll do it for us here from Spillane Field. Be back with you tomorrow night on the road at White House Field in Harwich, a 6:30 p.m. first pitch on the Gateman Broadcast Network. For Kara Foley and Cameron Ezeir, I'm Cade Crenshaw saying so long from Spillane. Until next time, as always, remember to smile.